Good evening, students. We are the mentors for the today's session on the live virtual class on your introductory session. Yes, myself, Nisha Gupta.
And I'm CA Shraddha.
Welcome to you all on this introductory session. Yes, friends, as the name reveals, introductory means to introduce with the subject, to make you friendly with the subject, to bring you at ease with the subject, so that you can connect yourself before going through the subject. And this is very important. Why to connect with the subject? So that you develop an interest while reading and understanding of the subject. And if this thing is there, then definitely the subject will become like a, just a very easy way to catch the subject. So, Shraddha, how would you like to just tell our students, just to before begin with the subject, what are the small and minute things that they should take care of?
So first of all, a very good evening, as ma'am has said. And since this is primarily catering to the students who would be appearing in the coming September examination, which is a September 2026 examinations. So for that and for January 2027 students also. So what should you know? Today morning we started with the first class. That was your paper 1 of accounting, advanced accounting. Now we are now taking paper 2, which is your corporate and other laws. So this paper is for 100 marks. Going further on this subject, you have to, like the papers, all the 6 papers are there in the CA intermediate level. This paper is also there, and it has a bit of a background of what you have read during your foundation classes also. In that we had paper 2, business laws.
Yes. And in the business law, you have come across with the general laws that are required to do any business, any kind of the, you can say, profession or the trades. And now at the intermediate level, you'll be going a little bit higher, definitely with respect to the regulation of the companies. Already though you have read the basic portion of the Companies Act under the foundation course, but here how the whole company is being regulated, how do they do conduct business, what are the requirements for incorporation of the companies, and how do they generate, the capital fund to run their business, and how does the shareholders play a crucial role in regulation of the company. So this is all important aspect that you are going to deal at the intermediate level. And of course, the questions is also be tested a little bit of higher, complex nature in comparison to the foundation, what you have read so far. That all we should be dealing in detail during the session itself, the nature of the questions that being tested over there in the examination. In fact, Shraddha, one line I would like to use among our students कि हमारा जो उद्देश्य है इस सेशन को कंडक्ट करने का, इट इज नॉट जस्ट कि आप सिर्फ ये कोर्स परस्यू करें, बट यस वी आर हियर टू शेप योर फ्यूचर ऑल्सो, क्योंकि जब आप ये कोर्स करेंगे तो आपका फ्यूचर बनेगा एंड यू विल बी एबल to to develop yourself to become a true professional in a true sense. So this is the target why we have just introduced this first session, to just that the base, the foundation, the introductory sessions before you.
And as ma'am said, that we are here to shape your future. The point is, we are not looking only as and we are not only looking at you as like chartered professionals, but also as the future entrepreneurs. So when I am talking about entrepreneurs, the subject becomes even more important, because you know how should the company that you are opening, or the startups, they should be running for you. How you will be running those startups and the companies, not only as like, what should I say, the professionals, but as entrepreneurs. So we are looking forward to our young entrepreneurs. With that, I would say good evening to the young entrepreneur Ananya, Hanshika, Suruchi, Tanmay, Ahmed, Ajay, Amit, Ranjan, and Dhruv Gabbar Thakur. Oh, that's a great name. And Harsh Sahu, Harshal, Heman, Karan, Kaushik, Anom, Santosh, Lavanya, Regan, J, Rohan, Shivam, Vivek, Dhanlakshmi, Maithili, Sushmita, Aditi, and
Great.
Yes, Gargi. So, a very good evening
to all. और ये बात याद रखिएगा, आज की मेहनत जो है वो आप कल आपकी पहचान होगी, तो डोंट फॉरगेट दिस लाइन्स. आज आप जो करेंगे आज आप जो भी efforts डालेंगे, that will be reflected in your tomorrow's future. So with this, now we would like to just start the session, but just two more lines. Shraddha, I'm just interrupting you again and again, but I would just want our students to be at a, very much comfortable, and let this session be a very interactive session so that you may be gaining maximum out of this session, and this is our aim also of just bringing before you this session. एक 4 लाइनें लिखी है मैंने as usual because I love to write the lines for you students. Where there is a will, there is a way. सबने सुना है ये लाइंस, बहुत ही कॉमन लाइंस है. Yes, where there is a will, there is a way. Corporate and other law stuff, please don't you ever say. After watching this introductory session, you will have a clear vision. Remember the formula: strategy, preparation, and revision. So with this, we would like to start with the session. Yes.
So some of the students are saying they are not, Anushka is not able to hear. Any other student who is facing this issue?
Yeah, please tell us so that we can communicate with our technical persons to take care of it.
Okay, all other people are, okay, thank you. Voice but बहुत slow आ रही है. Technical team, please look into it because we are speaking at the top of our voices. Okay, now are you able to hear us better? Okay, yeah, Aditi. No issues at all. You may, ma'am was not able to join lecture. Ma'am, मेरी English कमजोर है. Please थोड़ा बहुत हिंदी में concept समझा देना. Okay, we will be repeating the things in Hindi, but primarily it will be in English. So, ma'am, now as we said that this has to be an interactive session, I want to ask few of the students what. Any two students, just raise your hands and let me know what do you know about this subject, corporate and other laws, and how do you feel about this subject. Any two students, quickly. Two students have raised their hands. Who are they? The first one is Aditi. Okay, Aditi, unmute and let me know what do you understand.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Aditi.
Ma'am, corporate law is everything about a corporate, like about the companies and how a company is established, and everything, the rules and laws which are there in a company, how day-to-day operations go on in a company, and everything which is related to the company is something like a corporate law. And that's it, if I know that.
Okay, how do you feel about the subject? Now, actually, the basic point I want to, are you afraid of the subject or you are?
Yeah, like at first, I will be honest, ma'am, I'm very afraid of the subject because law is something like a subject now, because you can't learn and you can't just just आप किसी इस law को रट नहीं सकते. Like it is all about the theory, which is we have to understand law very deeply. So yeah, law के लिए तो मैम एक afraid आदमी कोई भी रहेगा. So yeah, law is like kind of a very difficult for me.
पर पता है अदिति, law is a very interesting subject if you read it proper in relation to one and the other provisions. अगर आप देखोगे क्या है लॉ में, अगर इनकॉर्पोरेशन करना है कंपनी का, तो व्हाट आर द थिंग दैट इज बीइंग रिक्वायर्ड. देयर इज अ स्टेप वाइज. इफ यू रीड एनी ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट इन अ स्टेप वाइज मैनर and understanding what are the legal requirements, what are the important key elements in a particular provision, in that case you'll be able to retain any legal provision. और लॉ तो बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है. आपने
हम उसे इंटरेस्टिंग बना देंगे.
और उसको पढ़ने के तरीके पे डिपेंड करता है कि हाउ यू एक्चुअली रीड एंड हाउ डू यू अंडरस्टैंड एंड जस्ट इनकलकेट और अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ एनी लीगल प्रोविजन. So that is the main thing. But yes, we will try to the extent possible to make it more easy, to make it more friendly for you students, and even our experts who are going to take up these lectures later on, the technical lectures will be there. So definitely they will bring the language at your level, so that you can easily understand what actually the law is trying to say.
Okay, I am unmuting one more person, that is Harshal Patel. And Harshal, before unmuting you, I just want to know, what is that one or two things that you're afraid about from this subject? Harshal. Okay, Harshal, I have unmuted you.
हेलो मैम.
Yeah, hello.
मैम आप हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो?
बिल्कुल, मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकती हूँ. मैं हिंदी भाषी हूँ.
You asked to question me as a what you afraid from the law subject, right?
Basically, मैं इसमें ये जानना चाहते हैं हम कि आप लोग इस पेपर से, जैसे अकाउंट्स का पेपर है, अकाउंट्स के पेपर से बच्चे जनरली मेहनत करते हैं, लेकिन उससे डरते नहीं हैं, इन द सेंस कि वो उसके लिए मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार रहते हैं। लेकिन जब
Right.
इस पेपर की बात आती है तो बच्चों को लगता है कि ये बहुत मुश्किल है, या बहुत ही कम से सुना है मैंने, आसान है। तो मैं बच्चे से ये जानना चाहती हूँ हर्षल आपसे, आप पहली बार अटेम्प्ट देंगे बच्चे?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm a direct entry student.
ओके, सो वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट आई हैव चोजन। सो आपसे मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि इस पेपर को लेके आपकी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, या आप इस पेपर से किस चीज में आप डरते हो? एंड जस्ट अ मोमेंट बिफोर सेइंग टू द अदर स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉट well conversed with Hindi, I am just asking Herschel that what is one or two things that scares Herschel about this subject, and what does he want to understand from this subject, and he is a direct entry student. Herschel,
Ma'am,
please आप बोलिए.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि we do as application of that law into the practical manner.
हाँ ठीक
Right?
है.
हाँ, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है जो सेक्शंस रहते हैं, जो
हाँ.
क्लॉजेस रहते हैं इन द लॉ,
हम्म.
okay, particular law, for example, Companies Act 2013, etc. In that
हम्म.
sections, वो sections retain करना या उसको maybe memorize करना may be
हम्म.
difficult for me, but a concept I can easily understand to that laws
आपके लिए
related.
अंडरस्टैंड करना आसान है, लेकिन आपके लिए रिटेन
मेमोरी
कर,
करना, हाँ,
हाँ रिटेन या
Retain
मेमोरी.
or the memorize to that sections and law clauses to related that particular act.
और कुछ?
मैम, ऑल्सो वन क्वेश्चन, आप बताएंगे कि इसको कौन से बुक्स लगाए, जैसे कंसेप्ट
हाँ.
बुक्स या प्रैक्टिकल बुक्स ऐसा, हाउ मच पेजेस टू देम,
सॉरी.
एंड हाउ मच पेजेस आर फॉर दैट सब्जेक्ट,
पेज.
हाउ मच नंबर्स ऑफ पेजेस रजिस्टर आर रिक्वायर्ड.
Okay. So what Herschel has said that he is afraid, he thinks of this subject, he's not exactly afraid of the subject, but what he thinks difficult from the subject is that he understands it, but he doesn't remember it. He thinks of it as it's difficult to memorize. So why we want to memorize the subject? Now, ma'am, if I see I am getting many queries, Gargi, there is a WhatsApp group for the students. So with this, ma'am, now let's start.
या एक्चुअली जो अभी बच्चों ने जो बेसिक चीज बोली, जो प्रॉब्लम अभी हर्षल ने भी बताया कि रिटेंशन जो होता है मेन प्रॉब्लम है बेसिकली विथ ईच एंड एवरी स्टूडेंट्स, क्योंकि ऐसा किसी और बच्चों ने भी पूछा है कि जनरली, तो बेटा लॉ में कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, इट कैन नॉट बी लाइक दिस कि आप वो इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स को मिस कर जाए, एंड दैट बेसिक एलिमेंट्स जो की एलिमेंट्स है दे आर द टेक्निकल टर्म्स, तो आपको थोड़ा बहुत मेमोराइज तो करना ही पड़ेगा। ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कुछ भी लिख देंगे। जब आपको अगर कोई चीज बताई जा रही है कि भाई ये ए है, ये बी है, ये सी है, तो आप याद करते हैं ना, आप अपना जैसे घर कहते हैं अपने घर का एड्रेस भी याद करते हैं ना। अगर मान लो घर, इसी तरह से आपका अपना कोई भी आधार कार्ड नंबर है, आपको याद करना पड़ता है, ऐसे ही लॉ के अंदर भी है। ऐसे ही लॉ के अंदर भी है कि अगर लॉ स्पेसिफिक कोई बात कहता है तो यू नीड टू रिटेन व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द लॉ सेज अबाउट एंड व्हाट आर द एलिमेंट्स दैट एक्चुअली डिफाइंस द व्हाट आर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स, एंड दैट एलिमेंट्स नीड टू बी रिटेन्ड। और उसको मेमोराइज करने का तरीका भी वही, आपको कुछ चीजें तो लिखनी पड़ेंगी। दैट इज व्हाई वी ऑलवेज टेल आवर स्टूडेंट टू प्रिपेयर देयर ओन नोट्स। व्हाई वी सी ऑल दिस थिंग्स? बिकॉज राइटिंग जो आप लिखते हैं ना वो सीधा यहाँ छपता है, ठीक है, एंड दैट इज द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट। लॉ किसी को भी याद नहीं, श्रद्धा, इवन इफ यू हैड सीन द ग्रेट लॉयर्स, द एडवोकेट्स, हमें ये प्रोविजन है, ये बात कहता है, बट व्हेन दे गो एंड प्रेजेंट देमसेल्व्स बिफोर बिफोर द जज और बिफोर द हायर अप्स, दे लिटरली मतलब they show particular provision by opening that particular law in the barrack and then they start discussing on the same। तो ऐसे ही आपको क्या है, कुछ की टर्म्स जैसे उन्हें पता है कि लॉ में ये बात कही गई है, इस प्रोविजन में कही गई है, बट टू रेफर व्हाट एग्जैक्टली लॉ सेज एंड हाउ द लॉ इज गिवन एज इट इज, दैट इज बीइंग रेफर्ड फ्रॉम द बैरक इटसेल्फ। सो आपको यहाँ पे बैरक नहीं करना है कि आपको एज इट इज लैंग्वेज लिखनी है, बट द थिंग इज दैट व्हाट आर द की एलिमेंट्स, व्हाट प्रैक्टिस है, उसको रिटेन करने के लिए आपको की एलिमेंट्स जॉट डाउन करने हैं, पॉइंट्स को पे छपना चाहिए।
So I would say it is very important for you to familiarize yourself with the subject, and that is what the introductory recession, 100 marks paper, so that you should be familiarized, acclimatized with the subject. So we are here to make the subject afraid of how you will write it, how you will make the notes, and how you will go about with the subject. Okay.
Shraddha, many students are asking they're not able to join the Zoom. So can we give them
So there may be some network
okay.
issue. Otherwise, you have to join through your student login only. Okay. You join the student login, which is there at the BOS knowledge portal. Join through that, or go through your mobile app. You can join through that also. And if you are not able to join the Zoom directly, though I'm asking my technical team to look into it. Ashok ji, kindly look into it. Then you just, for the time being, so that you do not lose on to important points, join the YouTube, because it's directly there live also. Okay. Okay. Direct entry. Okay. So let's start. Direct entry students also, do not worry, because we are there to guide you at all the steps.
और direct entry students जो होते हैं, they come after graduation, they are more matured and their level of understanding is high that way. तो उनको कोई problem नहीं होगा, because this is a class where you are being guided by the the experts. The subject faculties will be there, so they will make you understand the subject.
So this is a 100 marks paper, which is primarily divided into two parts, which is your part 1 is your corporate laws. I think, should I okay, I will not be able to share it. I want to share something. Just a moment. इससे पहले बच्चों को BS knowledge portal. Okay, students, are you able to see this screen of mine? Yes, they are able to. So, this is buslive.icai.org, which is like a Bible to you in terms of, it's like a library, not a Bible, but a library for you. So, what this subject is all about? This subject is all about corporate and other laws. So what happens is, in this subject you have your syllabus. Syllabus is like a blueprint that what all you have to study. So this is the syllabus. The syllabus is divided into two parts. One is your part 1, which is your company law and the limited liability partnership law. It consists of two acts. One is your Companies Act 2013 and the other is the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. Both these comprises of 70 marks. Okay. So in this, now see, not the whole of the Companies Act is applicable at the intermediate level. At the intermediate level, we are covering section 1 to section 148 of the Companies Act and the sections related to companies incorporated outside India, basically your foreign companies.
Yes.
Okay. The other part, then in 70 marks, you also have the Limited Liability Partnership Act, and which includes some rules. Now we have the other part, which is your other laws, which is for 30 marks.
Yes. If you see the other law portion, which defines the three important acts, and these three important acts are very important, just not because, the Companies Act, the specific law governing the special types of, the things related to the constitution or incorporation or running of the companies, okay? But when we talk about the other laws constituting three acts, these are the, except the FEMA one, the two acts are of general in nature. Wherever the specific act doesn't define anything, there of course these general acts comes into the picture. Okay, the first act is the GC Act, the General Clauses Act 1897. if you see this act, at many places you may be finding that your specific act doesn't define how to compute the time or something related to some sort of the definitions, or you can say how the commencement, when does the commencement of an act took place, and at that time there the GC Act comes into the picture, right? And GC deals with all the important aspect that is being required to understand any law. You see that if there's important definitions, and you'll be seeing how any general constructions of the law could be drawn. So that is all being dealt under the GC Act 1897. And how the government, when they pass any orders or any sort of the rules or any sort of the act or enactments, how it can be interpreted in line with whatever is given in the act, that act that you are referring in specific with reference to any particular, related to any profession or the business or something related specific to that particular area. So you must be seeing that GC is helping you out in constructions of the law. And as far as interpretation of statute is developed, these are the laws which are being used by, the experts while during representing themselves before the courts. Themselves reporting before the judicial authority, how the law can be interpreted as per the, in the light of the given facts and the circumstances. So that all talks about the interpretation statute. It's constituted of the general principles. That principles are being used to interpret the law. And it many times happens, there may be a possible of drawing the two meanings at the same time. So at that time, what shall be the correct meaning that can be drawn in that particular situation and that time, that could be understood through the help of the principles given under the interpretation of the statutes. Even there are various, golden rules also that comes or that arises out of the custom, the usages that are also being used over there. There are certain principles which says only we have to draw the literal meaning, but when it is being used, when you have to take the literal meaning of any law, that is defined under the interpretation of statutes. When you have to draw the beneficial constructions, that means for the benefit for whom the law has been made, so that has been given under the interpretation of statutes. When you have to draw the mischief rule, that it negatives, it curtails down the negativities or certain kind of loopholes that are being there in the law, how it can be curtailed and can be constructed in a beneficial manner, that has also been given under the mischief rules. So every sort of the thing has been defined, and these are the laws which are used in the courts by the experts to interpret the law in an appropriate manner under the given situations, under the given line of the facts and figures of that particular conditions or the scenario, you can say out. And when the third law comes into the picture is the FEMA. FEMA is the very important law in today's scenario, because lot of you must be seeing that foreign exchange, the transactions has been taken from the country to the outside country, or from the outside country coming into our country itself. Then at that time, the law is very important to regulate these, the transactions, the foreign exchange, the securities, how does the transactions take place, what are the government requirements to manage these kinds of, the foreign transactions, you can say. So this important law is very important, so that it can actually control that, there is you can say money laundering and act all these things. So this law play a very important role. Any kind of illegal activity can be, can be put a check upon through the enforcement of this act. So government is very playing a very active role in this act. You'll be seeing that RBI is the main important, the regulatory body which comes into the picture under the Foreign Exchange Management Act. So this act is very important.
And this coupled with your Prevention of Money Laundering Act is the basis of all the
smuggling and all these things.
The raids, ED raids that you are seeing nowadays.
Yes.
So ma'am, I have received a very important and interesting question from a student. Which the child is asking me, when will you start the chapter? But today is just the introductory session. So the main reason that we have kept this, ma'am, introductory session, I would tell you guys, we generally keep this session. But what happens is, even after this session, when the sessions are ending or during our LVRC classes, actually we generally have our revisionary classes also. Many a time students are still not knowing the syllabus. They are just reading the Companies Act, which they think is for 70 marks. My dear, it will not come for 70 marks. Companies Act will not come for 70 marks. I'm just, please understand. approximately 60 or 55 to 65 or 50 to 60 marks of Companies Act, 10 to 12 marks of LLP, and then 30 marks of Journal Clauses Act is there. Some people will say, छोड़ दो.
But
You know,
please,
understand, छोड़ दो, leave this छोटा एक्ट तो समझो छोटे एक्ट पे 10-10 नंबर मिल रहे हैं. इंटरप्रिटेशन फॉर 8 to 12 marks, जर्नल क्लॉजेस फॉर 8 to 12, 10 to 12 marks rather I should say, and foreign exchange also 10 to 12 marks. And kids, like students, do leave this chapter. Okay, I cannot speak everything in Hindi. Reason being, this is a pan India, students are there. Okay,
बीच बीच में हम लोग करेंगे जिससे कि आपको कहीं अगर प्रॉब्लम होती है कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग में, यू कैन कम अप विद अस कि मैम हमें ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ नहीं आया या कि ये बात समझ में नहीं आई, तो वी विल बी जस्ट हिंदी में उसको हम एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे.
okay, Satish is asking what is the use of law for chartered accountants in real life professional practices, real life. Okay, I am a chartered accountant. Okay, or she's an LLM. ठीक है. So you have a mix of both the things. Now the point is, ये point मैंने आपको क्यों बताया है, अगर लॉ नहीं आएगा, आपने कंपनी किसी से खुलवा ली, you went to someone and you asked them, no, there will be no chapter explanation today.
आज तो हम बस जनरल बात करेंगे, जनरल सब्जेक्ट के बारे में बात करेंगे, सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट टिप्स.
और अगर आप लोगों को लग रहा है कि इसमें कुछ ऐसा नहीं है, ये आपको ना 20 days बाद पता चलेगा that what we were discussing. और बहुत बच्चे ये सेशंस, खासकर ये एंड के चैप्टर्स, दे लीव दोज. आप समझिए 30 मार्क्स में से अगर आपको, आप बुरे से बुरा पेपर करके आ रहे हो ना, तो भी इस 30 में से 10 से 12 नंबर लेके आते हो, एंड दैट कैन बी अ गेम चेंजर फॉर यू. Okay, we should raise hand for any query which related topic. Yes, you can, and or you can just write in the chat box. So the real life examples for this, when you are opening up a company, when you are going for normally also, if you are the CEO or CFO, you have climbed that ladder. At that time when you are taking a decision, you just do not have it is not necessary for you to have a knowledge of only one subject. Right now, it's a very good combination of CAs, LLB and MBAs. That is becoming a very hip career choice for people who want to climb the ladder as CEOs and CFOs, because then they have the knowledge, the basic knowledge also of accounting, of GST, of taxation, basic things. Then they are ready to take, and if you don't have the knowledge of law at that time, basic knowledge is required so that you are able to take a timely decision for your company. Now the students can say that, ma'am, for that work we have other professionals also, but then also knowledge of every subject is required for you. Otherwise, how will you guide that company? Sometimes it is very important that you are not being taken advantage of by other professionals. It is very necessary for you to have the knowledge. When are the compliances due? How the company should be run? Everything else. If that is not there, you will not be able to run your company as an entrepreneur also. एंटरप्रेन्योर को हर चीज की नॉलेज जरूरी होती है. आपके लिए उस टाइम पीरियड पे आप हर चीज के लिए एक पर्सन को हायर नहीं कर सकते अगर आपकी खुद की कंपनी है.
और एक बात श्रद्धा ऐड ऑन करना चाहूंगी, जब आप टॉप पे होते हो तो आप ये नहीं कह सकते मुझे ये नहीं पता है या आई डोंट हैव दैट नॉलेज. इट मे बी पॉसिबल दैट यू मे नॉट बी हैविंग एन एक्सपर्टाइज इन दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग, लेकिन जो बेसिक चीजें होती हैं वो आपको पता होनी चाहिए. सो एज श्रद्धा सेड कि ये कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत ही अच्छा है, बहुत ही मतलब आपके लिए स्कोप भरा है, तो दैट यू शुड लुक फॉरवर्ड फॉर. तो ठीक है, that way.
Okay, by which month we will be able to finish the syllabus so that I can give the September exam? Okay, ma'am, you probably I have my own style of speaking, so I would stick to that. and I'm on the platform of the institute, so I need to respect my profession, Arpit. Okay, so going further, this was about the syllabus. And the importance of knowing your syllabus is that you know how much time to devote to what subject or what topic. Now, what happens is, like supposedly, I'm giving you an example, the chapter of journal clauses is there. You know, the chapter is about 10, it's around 38 pages or something, but you have a scope of 10 to 12 marks from that chapter. So it gives you an edge over the students who are leaving these chapters or not concentrating on these chapters. It is primarily since May 2023 till now, we have seen that at least 8 marks question and maximum 14 marks questions have come from this chapter itself. So please don't leave this chapter. इस chapter से कम 8 से 12 या 14 नंबर का क्वेश्चन आता है. ओके, तो आप लोगों को ये चैप्टर्स नहीं छोड़ने हैं. जो बच्चे यहां से एलवीसी क्लासेस कर रहे हैं, हम इन चैप्टर्स पे भी उतना ही ध्यान देते हैं जितना कि हम बाकी कंपनीज एक्ट पे ध्यान देते हैं. हमारा एम आप लोगों को सिर्फ कंपनीज एक्ट पढ़ाना नहीं है, हमारा एम है आपको पूरा 100 मार्क्स का कराना. हमारे लिए ये जरूरी नहीं है कि हम आपको सिर्फ 60 नंबर का प्रिपेयर करा दें और बाकी हम छोड़ दें. ठीक है, सो दिस इज important for you to know your syllabus.
Even Arpita is asking how to join the WhatsApp group. So dear student, you can join the WhatsApp group through Telegram, and already that link has been provided on the chat box for your reference. So you can, through chat box, you can log into that group.
So now since we have different sources, okay, now you know कि आपको पढ़ना क्या है. आपके लिए अब ये भी जरूरी है कि आपको पढ़ना कहाँ से है. Some of the students were asking the books that are important for you and the practice places from where you can practice the questions. So now we will be giving you a walkthrough of this. Can you give one more time? Beta, please.
I'm supposing that student is asking with respect to that link of the Telegram channel he's asking about.
Okay.
We are just sharing within a few moments.
We are sharing it again. ठीक है? They are sharing, the technical team is sharing. So I told you that our BOS Live is like it's known as knowledge portal. So it's a hub for all your knowledge requirements. So let's see. हमें सबसे पहले आपके पास एक कोई मटेरियल होना चाहिए पढ़ने के लिए.
कुछ बेस तो होना चाहिए, वरना नॉलेज क्या है, आप किससे पढ़ेंगे? इतना सारा है पढ़ने को, तो आप उससे कंफ्यूज हो सकते हैं. तो सम बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट शुड बी देयर कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली, मतलब आपको क्या, किस लेवल तक का पढ़ना है, क्या पढ़ना है. तो दैट शुड बी क्लियर, एंड फॉर दैट सेक वी आर हैविंग द स्टडी मैप.
हम आपको सारा ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट देता है इंस्टीट्यूट. वी हैव नॉट लॉग्ड एनीथिंग. एवरीथिंग इज प्रोवाइडेड टू यू on this portal free of cost. So kindly make use of it. So basic is your Bear Act. Bear Act पता है बच्चों? Bear Act, whenever the parliament passes any legislation, there is a thin book that they publish which is known as the...
थिन बुक मत को, आज के टाइम में थोड़ी मोटी मोटी बुक्स भी हो गई हैं. सो यूसेज ऑफ दिस वर्ड ना, थिन बुक इज नॉट करेक्ट एग्जैक्टली हो गया.
So the lawyer in her has
now I have to play a key role. What Bear Act is actually? Bear Act, as the name reveals, bear means केवल, as it is a law. जैसा law पार्लियामेंट में पास हुआ है. It is neither containing any explanation, neither containing any kind of, you can say, extra information. Whatever has been passed, the law exactly, that is the Bear Act.
Correct. No explanation. Bear, it is as it is passed by the parliament. Then it will be having some rules also. So rules are provided.
अब कई बच्चे पूछेंगे एक्ट और रूल्स में क्या डिफरेंस है.
अभी मैम उस पे इनको
हम बाद में बताएंगे, लेकिन हाँ, वी आर हैविंग अ रूल जस्ट टू, क्योंकि लॉ जो बेयर एक्ट है, इट्स ओनली द लॉ. क्या है ये बता रखा है, लेकिन अब करना कैसे जब उसकी बात आएगी, तो उसके लिए सेपरेटली एक थ्रू द वे ऑफ द रूल्स वी कम आउट विद द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द लॉ, हाउ द लॉ कैन बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड. So that is being given under the rule.
So आपका first source हुआ Bear Act. Now, what is the problem with Bear Act? It doesn't contain any
explanation, हाँ, extra information,
extra explanation. टेक्निकल टर्म्स को समझने के लिए हमें जरूरत होती है किसी हेल्प की, जिसके लिए हम रेफर करने की कोशिश करते हैं कमेंट्रीज.
बिल्कुल.
अभी कमेंट्रीज क्या होती हैं? किसी भी लॉ को समझने के लिए जब वो पास किया जा रहा था तो लॉ मेकर की इंटेंशन क्या थी वो लिखा होता है कमेंट्रीज में. अब क्या हम अपने बच्चों से एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि वो कमेंट्रीज पढ़े मैम?
कमेंट्रीज पढ़ सकते हैं because so that they can know कि why it was necessary. But yes, from the point of view of students you are thinking, तो आपको उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. But just to have a broader prospect, किसी चीज का अगर broadly आपको उसका prospect जाना है तो आप उसको read कर सकते हैं from knowledge point of view. But it is not required from your examination perspective. So that should be taken care of.
तो उन दोनों का amalgamation बना के बनता है एक material. A detailed material which contains the act plus the rules and explanations with the help of examples so that you are able to understand the subject easily. So the Board of Studies academic, it shows that we will see to it. Let's just continue with the session. We have asked our technical team to look into it, that how they are going to share the Telegram link with you. They have shared.
They have already shared. You can see on this chat box. The link of the Telegram group has been shared with you, students. So you can simply log in.
Yes, you have to just click and yes, it's not expired. Okay, so now students के point of view से we have to provide a material. We are calling it a study material. Any other from other sources, if you are referring it, it is some other book. But in any case, आप law को detail में पहली बार पढ़ रहे हैं. So please don't rely on any shorthand book. Go in for a detailed book. Okay. So ma'am, the Board of Studies are providing them with the material known as?
Yeah, study material.
So this is, I am giving you a walkthrough of this website so that आप बाकी बच्चों से वहां आगे रह पाए जहां पर आपको पूरा मटेरियल पता हो कि आपके पास क्या क्या सोर्सेस अवेलेबल है.
Yes, so you would be seeing that here we are having our study material for the students, those who are going to appear for this September 2026. So here we are having the May 26 examination onward study material for your reference. So you will be seeing here that we are having all the subject study material for your references. But here we are talking with respect particularly to the COL paper 2. So you will be seeing that we are having 3 modules in your paper. Paper 1, if you, 3 modules. So there are in module 1 and 2, we shall be discussing about the Companies Act and LLP. Okay, in the module 1, up to chapter 6, yeah, we are covering over in module 1.
Oh, sorry.
And in module 2, we are covering from chapter 6 to you will be finding
chapter
from
7
10.
11.
10 and 11 is separate chapter, but yes, pertaining to the Companies Act. This is the foreign companies, any company which is incorporated outside India, then of course, what are the legal provision, how they will be regulated and how they will be just doing up its, the business and the other important compliances that need to be done by them.
I'm just opening one of the chapters, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like if I open this chapter, see. Now the students get afraid, ma'am, that chapters are very big. आपका चैप्टर ओवरव्यू है, फिर आपको हर चैप्टर के लिए उन्होंने डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रखा है. इट इज कंटेनिंग द एक्ट एज वेल एज द रूल्स प्लस द एक्सप्लेनेशन. सो दिस इज अ डिटेल्ड बुक मैम फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स. ओके, एंड सॉरी, एंड देयर इज वन मोर थिंग. At the end of the chapter,
और आप देख रहे हैं the study materials come out very well with lot of the diagrams, the flow charts and
brief summaries
are there. तो मतलब आपको और क्या चाहिए एक चैप्टर को समझने के लिए? इतना कुछ स्टडी मटेरियल के अंदर है. इतना आपको अगर आप देखेंगे मतलब फ्लो चार्ट्स के थ्रू जो की पॉइंट्स है उसको याद करने का जो तरीका है, दैट कुड बी इजिली बॉट इनटू द पिक्चर, प्लस इट कुड बी इजिली रिटेन्ड व्हाट आर द कंसेप्ट एंड हाउ इट शुड बी, मतलब कहते हैं ना कनेक्टेड है, पहले क्या आएगा, उसके कितने पार्ट्स है, देन व्हाट विल कम नेक्स्ट. So you'd be seeing and you can easily relate the concept, you can understand the concept, you can present the concept during the examinations. Plus आपका summary है last में to revise.
Summary है and then we have a test
Test
your
your
knowledge questions. अब यहाँ पर आपके लिए 2 टाइप के questions provide किए गए हैं. One is your MCQs and the other is your descriptive questions. ठीक है. That brings us to a very important question. Like यहाँ से हमारी अब अंडरस्टैंडिंग की 3 ब्रांचेस निकलती हैं. एक मैम कि बच्चों को ये बहुत डिटेल में है, जो हमारे बच्चों के लिए एक बहुत ही बड़ी प्रॉब्लम उन्होंने बना रखी है, जो उतनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है नहीं. मैम स्टडी मटेरियल के वर्ड्स और लैंग्वेज उतनी समझ नहीं आती हैं. ठीक है. समझ में तो मुझे अकाउंट्स भी नहीं आती है, मुझे डीटी भी नहीं आती है, मुझे टैक्स भी नहीं आता, डीटी आईडीटी अकाउंट्स कॉस्टिंग एफएम मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ में आता. लेकिन मैं उसे जब मैं उसको समझने की कोशिश करूंगा तो मुझे वो समझ में आएगा. अगर देखा जाए तो आप अगर डीटी को देखेंगे दैट इज ऑल्सो लॉ बेस्ड, आप आईडीटी को देखेंगे तो दैट इज ऑल्सो, आईडीटी मीन्स योर जीएसटी,
ऑडिट टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट,
not to a certain extent, it is law based.
Basically law based है, rules है, मतलब उसमें policies है, आपका पूरा laws है,
essays हैं,
essays are there.
ठीक है. आपका audit is also law based. Then if I go to the accounting standards भी आपके law based हैं. Then चलिए costing को मैं काफी हद तक कहूंगी कि आपका costing and FM will be your primarily not law based. बट अगर हम देखेंगे तो ये सब लॉ बेस्ड है. तो सोचो तो अगर आप उसका मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशंस को समझ लो, तो उसी तरीके से अगर आप इस बेसिक एक्ट की लैंग्वेज को समझने लग जाओगे तो समहाउ डीटी आईडीटी ऑडिटिंग विल ऑल्सो बिकम easy for you. मुझे अगर लॉस पढ़ना समझ में आ गया, बी इट थ्रू एनी ऑफ दीज सब्जेक्ट्स, मेरे लिए कुछ भी समझना लॉ का आसान आ जाएगा. देन अगर मेरा एटीट्यूड ये है कि मेरे को लॉ समझ में नहीं आएगा, तो फिर दैट मीन्स मैं डीटी आईडीटी जो कि फाइनल के बहुत और ऑडिट तीनों ही आपके फाइनल लेवल पे आएंगे, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट्स हैं. उस टाइम पीरियड पे आपको पक्का प्रॉब्लम आएगी. हैव दैट एटीट्यूड इन योरसेल्फ दैट ओके आई एम एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट एंड बिलीव. जो अभी हम आपको सारी चीजें इसमें बताने की इतनी कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उसका रीजन यही है कि आप सब्जेक्ट से इतना एक्लिमेटाइज हो जाओ कि आपको ये कुछ लगे ही ना. देखो मेहनत सीए में आके करनी तो पड़ेगी ना
भाई, सीधी सी बात है. आज की मेहनत कल आपको रंग दिखाएगी. मतलब आप कहते हैं आप सिर्फ उसका जो फ्रूट्स होता है उससे आप तभी कर पाएंगे जब आप मेहनत करेंगे, और मेहनत तो आपको करनी पड़ेगी. देयर आर मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स व्हिच आर न्यू टू. और कोई कहता है कि उसे डीटी समझ में आता है, तो डीटी इज वन ऑफ द, मतलब डायरेक्ट जो भी टैक्सेशन रिलेटेड चीज है वो आपकी वन ऑफ द एस्पेक्ट है. लेकिन अगर आपको बेसिक ये नहीं आया कि कोई चीज बनी कैसे, वो किस आधार पे खड़ी हुई है, उसकी वर्किंग क्या है, वो कैसे काम करती है, उसको कौन लोग रेगुलेट करते हैं, क्या पावर्स है, क्या ड्यूटीज है, तो आप जब तक आपको ये चीजें नहीं पता होंगी तो आप उसकी लाइबिलिटीज को कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे, टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट दे आर लाइबल, इन व्हाट वे दे आर लाइबल, व्हाट एवर दे आर अर्निंग, उस पर क्या लाइबिलिटीज क्रिएट होती है, वो सब एक नेक्स्ट स्टेप है. सो बेसिक स्टेप से तो आप स्टार्ट करेंगे. आप जब छोटे तो आपने चलना सीखा, फिर चलने के बाद आपने भागना सीखा, दौड़ना सीखा, साइकिल चलाना सीखी, बाइक सीखी, कार सीखी. सिमिलरली आपको जो बेस है इट्स द लॉ सब्जेक्ट. तो यू कांट से दैट यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. दैट इज डियर स्टूडेंट्स जस्ट ऑल हियर इन द माइंड. तो पहले तो ये क्लियर करिए कि लॉ इज नॉट दैट टिपिकल और दैट डिफिकल्ट. यू कैन से लॉ इज अ काइंड ऑफ यू कैन से अ सीक्वेंस ऑफ द थिंग्स जो किसी चीज को बनाने के लिए चाहिए, किसी चीज को चलाने के लिए चाहिए, किसी चीज को रेगुलेट और कंट्रोल करने के लिए चाहिए. तो इट इज ऑल अ लॉ, द रूल्स, द रेगुलेशंस. तो आपको बस उस तरह से उसे पढ़ना है, समझना है इन रिलेशन विद द एक्टिविटीज और द थिंग्स.
और अगर मैम इसमें एक चीज और डालें तो कंपनीज एक्ट जो है वो समझना ज्यादा आसान है क्योंकि वो बेसिक है. बिल्कुल. उसमें आपको लर्न करने से भी ज्यादा जरूरी है कि समझना. अगर आप उसको देखोगे ना तो हर चीज का एक सीक्वेंस है.
दिस इज व्हाट, वही मैं आपको लॉ में आप देखो मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग सीक्वेंस बेस्ड ही है. अगर कोई प्रोसीजरल लॉ भी है सपोज, तो उसमें प्रोसीजर भी ऑल्सो हैड अ सीक्वेंस. अगर प्रोसीजर में क्या करना है, अगर किसी को अप्लाई करना है, किसी को अपने ग्रीवेंसेस को प्रेजेंट करना है, तो क्या है, सिंपली टू अप्लाई अप्लाई करने के बाद कौन अथॉरिटीज होंगी, तो और अथॉरिटीज को क्या पावर्स होंगे उस कंडीशंस में डील करने के, दैट इज ऑल थिंग इज बीइंग गिवन. सो एट लिंकेज इज देयर, अ प्रॉपर लिंकेज. तो व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू रीड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कनेक्टेड, कहते हैं ना कनेक्टेड प्रोविजंस को कनेक्ट करके पढ़ेंगे तो यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. So this is what the law is. So उसको उसी तरह से पढ़िएगा. Make it a story. Consider as a story. आपको अच्छा लगेगा. Examples हैं आपके स्टडी में, आप उसको पढ़िए. Wherever little bit of typical provisions आते हैं जो थोड़े से complicated होते हैं, the language is of course at various places you'll be finding the language is bit difficult. तो डायरेक्ट ना बोल के उसको ब्रॉडर वे में कवर करने के लिए या नेगेटिव वे में कई बार मतलब उसको स्टार्ट ऐसे करते हैं कि दिस इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड. समटाइम्स इस तरह से भी करा जाता है, दो नॉट विथ स्टैंडिंग ऐसे से वर्ड्स यूज किए जाते हैं. So it may be possible that students not able to understand the language, but read the example, read the explanation, whatever is given in the material for sake of making the provision easy and understandable. जब आप पढ़ेंगे तो you can correlate कि what the provision is saying about.
इसीलिए इस सेशन में मैं कहूंगी आप लोग सिर्फ इस चीज पे ध्यान दें कि आप लोगों के पास सोर्सेस क्या क्या हैं. एक बार आपको वो समझ में आ जाएगा तो आपकी आगे की जर्नी थोड़ा आसान हो जाएगी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
तो जैसे मैंने आपको ये चैप्टर दिखाया, अब बच्चों के ऐसे क्वेरी आ रही है कि हमें ना मैम बहुत सारा होता है, जैसे बच्चे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं, हम आपसे कहेंगे कम से कम, आई एम गिविंग यू ये मैं हर सेशन में हम बोलते हैं आपको 2 से 3 बार कम से कम डिटेल बुक पढ़नी है. हम स्टडी मटेरियल बोलेंगे उसको. आपको अगर लगता है कि आपके पास कोई और डिटेल बुक है, यू आर मोर देन वेलकम टू रेफर दैट, बट प्लीज डिटेल बुक मैं तो 3 से 4
डिटेल बुक ही रेफर करें, कम से कम वही
3 से 4 बार मेरे हिसाब से. आप पहली बार उसको पढ़ते जाए,
आपको समझ नहीं आएगा. फर्स्ट टाइम तो रीड इज एज सिंपली यू आर रीडिंग.
हाँ, आप जैसे अब आपकी जब हम अब इसके बाद नेक्स्ट चैप्टर आपका सैटरडे को प्रिलिमिनरी चैप्टर 1 से स्टार्ट करेंगे. सो इन दैट चैप्टर व्हाट यू डू इज, मतलब आप बुक अगर हो सके तो कम से कम पेज नंबर 10 तक आप उसको पढ़ के बैठ जाओ. और फिर मैं नहीं कह रही उसको समझ के बैठो, उसको पढ़ के बैठ जाओ. मतलब मैं बस
यही
रीड कर रही हूँ.
और उसको रीड करने के बाद आप इस सेशन
समझिएगा. आपको समझने में दिमाग नहीं लगाना है. ओके कह क्या रहा है, बस उसे पढ़ के बैठ जाओ और देन यू विल सी द डिफरेंस.
बिल्कुल. और अगर आप बिना पढ़े बैठेंगे तो इट विल टेक मोर टाइम एंड एट वेरियस कंसेप्ट्स यू विल लिटिल बिट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. मे बी पॉसिबल दैट मे बी. अगर आप पढ़ के बैठेंगे तो वी आर 100% श्योर कि आपको कंसेप्ट बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आएंगे एंड यू विल फील द क्लास ऑल्सो वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड यू कैन कम आउट विद योर क्वेरीज एट वेरी सेम मोमेंट ड्यूरिंग द क्लास इटसेल्फ. जहां पे भी आपका स्टकअप हुआ है, कोई कंसेप्ट ऐसा है जो घुमा हुआ है, थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है, तो दैट विल बी वेरी मच क्लियर व्हाइल ड्यूरिंग दैट सेशंस.
और ये एक टिप जो भी आपको दी गई है, अगर आप पहले से पढ़ के बैठेंगे, इफ यू आर रीडिंग इट बिफोर हैंड, I can guarantee you from rest of the students you will be 12 to 15 marks ahead in your examination. I'm not, आज मैं आपसे ये तो कही नहीं रही कि बेटा अच्छा होगा बुरा होगा, मैं आपसे बिल्कुल मार्क्स के टर्म्स में बात कर रही हूँ. 12 to 15 मार्क्स तो हम कहीं नहीं गए बच्चे के.
और ये हम कुछ नहीं कहते हैं श्रद्धा, लेट्स बच्चे खुद एक्सपीरियंस करें. बस ये आपको फर्स्ट वाले सेशन में पढ़ के आना है,
सारे सेशंस में,
मतलब जस्ट टू एक्सपीरियंस द डिफरेंस. सो आई एम जस्ट रिकमेंडिंग फॉर द फर्स्ट सेशन.
अगर आपने ये टिप सारे सेशंस में अप्लाई कर ली तो आप 12 to 15 मार्क्स से बाकी बच्चों से अहेड है. देखिए 2 टिप अभी तक हम आपको दे चुके हैं. 2024 बुक नहीं है, उसमें चीजें एनहांस कर दी गई हैं. ओके, तो इट इज रिक्वेस्टेड टू रेफर द लेटेस्ट स्टडी मटेरियल. तो आपने एक डिटेल बुक देख ली. अब बच्चों को होता है मैम ये तो बहुत बढ़िया है, इसमें तो कलर्स भी नहीं है मैम.
हाँ, बाकी किताब जैसे बाहर की मार्केट्स में होती है कलरफुल एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स,
तो उसके लिए हमारे पास है ये सारांश. इसको ना थोड़ा सा बच्चों के लिए बड़ा कर देती हूँ. जस्ट गिव मी सेकंड.
सारांश आप देखेंगे काइंड ऑफ इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ नोट्स, डायग्रामेटिक, मतलब कहते हैं पिक्टोरियल आपके फॉर्म में आपको एक नोट्स अवेलेबल है विच यू कैन रेफर. आपने अपना स्टडी से डिटेल से आपने अपना वो कंसेप्ट पढ़ा एंड देन यू कैन गो थ्रू दिस सारांश. सारांश आपको वही चीज शॉर्ट में की पॉइंट्स के साथ आपको मतलब यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट किया गया है, सो दैट यू कैन रिटेन एंड रिमेंबर द इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट रिलेटेड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लीगल प्रोविजंस. So you would be seeing here so colorful, so nicely. It has been came out in the flow charts, the diagrams, the various kind of infographics has been used, different sort of colors to bring all that you कहते हैं ना कलर्सफुल, हाँ जो आपको अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि ये सब चीज देख के पॉजिटिव आती है. कलर्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन आवर लाइव्स. So we have tried to bring everything in a colorful manner before you students, so that little bit of interest may be developed with respect to the subject.
So Board of Studies Academic आपको एक डिटेल बुक दे रहा है
एक short,
और उसके साथ हम आपको एक शॉर्ट हैंड बुक भी दे रहे हैं. बट इन एनी केस प्लीज 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 इट्स अ रिक्वेस्ट, डिटेल बुक को इससे रिप्लेस मत करना.
और ये भी मत सोचिए पहले मैं ये पढ़ लूं और मुझे सब समझ में आ जाएगा और फिर मैं बाद में वो कर लूंगा, तो बेटा फिर नहीं हो पाएगा.
इतना पढ़ोगे तो इतना लिख के आओगे, इतना सा पढ़ोगे तो क्या लिख के आओगे.
बस समझ
मत करना ये चीज. मैम हाउ टू ऑर्डर सारांश आप CDS पोर्टल पे
जाइए और उसे परचेज कर सकते हैं.
ओके, सो दिस इज आपको 2 टिप अभी तक हम दे चुके हैं और उसके लिए हमने आपको मटेरियल्स, हम सोल्यूशन के साथ आपको सारी चीजें बता रहे हैं. ओके, अब एक और टिप मैम यहाँ पर हमें बच्चों को और देनी चाहिए. सारांश इंस्टीट्यूट ने प्रोवाइड तो करते, देखो कई बच्चों को गुड अदिति, सो आप जो है वो बच्चों को ना मैम रेडीमेड मटेरियल दे दिया है, लेकिन अगर आप एज अ रियल टीचर मुझसे पूछोगे ना, मैं नहीं चाहूंगी कि आप इसको सोली इस पे रिलाय करो. जो अपने हाथ के नोट्स होते हैं ना, उससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं होता,
क्योंकि हर एक का पढ़ने का तरीका अलग है. उनकी कहते हैं ना रीडिंग और टीचिंग और या लर्निंग स्किल्स जो होती है, दे आर ऑफ डिफरेंट इन इटसेल्फ. So rather than just imitating to anyone else or their notes, referring to their notes will not help you out. जब अपने हिसाब से बनाएंगे तो आपके पहले पढ़ेंगे तो समझेंगे, और जब समझेंगे तो उसको आप अपने स्टाइल में रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे इन द नोट्स फॉर्म. तो वो सिर्फ आपको लास्ट मोमेंट में ही हेल्प नहीं करेंगे, बट इट विल ब्रिंग यू द क्लैरिटी, एंड दैट इज द मेन थिंग विच इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द लर्निंग. की क्लैरिटी ऑफ द कंसेप्ट, द क्लैरिटी ऑफ द लॉ, द नॉलेज. और आप खुद देखेंगे जब आप नोट्स बना के किसी कंसेप्ट को किसी के सामने अगर आप बोलेंगे भी ना, यू विल बी मोर कॉन्फिडेंट एंड यू विल बी मोर क्लियर इन योर थॉट्स कि हाउ टू से एंड रिप्रेजेंट द लॉ एंड व्हाट लॉ एग्जैक्टली सेज अबाउट. अगर आपने किसी और के नोट्स रेफर किए तो फिर आप
सकते हो,
कर लोगे, बट नॉट दैट मच क्लैरिटी एज इज रिक्वायर्ड. फिर क्वेश्चन चाहे ऐसे पूछे, घुमा करके पूछे, यहाँ से कान को पकड़े या ऐसे पकड़े, you will be able to manage in every situation whatever the question may be tested in the examination. So that is why we recommend for the notes.
ठीक है, तो इसमें मैम देखो अब हमने ये बच्चों को, जैसे मैंने एक्चुअली फर्स्ट जो चैप्टर आपको अभी स्टडी मटेरियल का दिखाया था ना, उसी को हमने समराइज्ड फॉर्म में बच्चे यहाँ पे आपके लिए कर रखा है. ठीक है, हमने सब कुछ आपके लिए यहाँ पे किया है, बट हो सकता है द वे आई हैव रिटर्न इट और मैम हैज रिटर्न इट और एनी अदर फैकल्टी हैज रिटर्न इट, आपको इससे कम वर्ड्स चाहिए हो या इससे ज्यादा वर्ड्स चाहिए हो, या मैंने एक स्टेप यहाँ पर मिस किया हो जो मैम ही देखें तो मैम कहें कि श्रद्धा इसमें तो एक और स्टेप होना चाहिए था, और आपके हिसाब से इसमें 4 और स्टेप होने चाहिए थे. अपनी लैंग्वेज जब हम अपने हाथ से लिखते हैं तो हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है. आई ऑलवेज से हमारे ना यहाँ पर मेमोरी और सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स कहेंगे, क्या कहेंगे, सेल्स, दैट्स द करेक्ट वर्ड. एज इंडियंस वी ईट बाय आवर हैंड्स and that gives a more feeling of satiety in us. What's the reason? The sensory organs, when our hands touch the food, so it gives a signal to our brain that okay, now we are eating, so we feel more satiated when we eat by our hands. That's a general Indian habit. Similarly for writing, जब आप अपने हाथ से लिखते हैं, देखो हम दोनों लिख कुछ नहीं रहे, लेकिन हमारे हाथ में पेन है दोनों के हाथ में, क्योंकि हमें आदत पड़ी हुई है. आपने ABC जब लिखा था फर्स्ट टाइम जब बच्चे थे, तो आपको लिखना और रटना सिखाया गया और उसके बाद लिखना सिखाया गया. अब आप उसी चीज को समझिए कि अगर आप उसे सिर्फ अपनी रील्स में देख देख के सीख रहे हैं तो आपका अटेंशन स्पैन कितना होगा. और वही चीज मैम सिमिलर विद द सॉन्ग्स ऑल्सो, जो हम
बार बार सुनना, तो वो है. और कई बार ऐसे आपने देखा होगा कि आप बहुत सारी अच्छी लाइन सुनते हैं, आपने सुना आप भूल जाएंगे, लेकिन अगर आपने उसे कहीं पे लिख लिया है, नोट कर लिया है, तो वो लाइंस भी आपको याद हो जाती है।
मैम ने जो भी आपको वो हिंदी में बोला
हाँ,
था,
वो
जैसे
मैं
मुझे आदत नहीं है तो मुझे वो याद भी नहीं होगा।
एंड आई हैव सिंपली रिटन फॉर यू स्टूडेंट्स बिकॉज मुझे
तो
अच्छा लगता है।
उन्होंने अपने हाथ से लिखा है, मतलब इफ आई शो यू हर नोट्स,
सी माय नोट्स इफ यू कुड सी इट, आई हैव जस्ट रिटन।
तो उन्होंने लिखा है, तो इसलिए उनको मतलब उन्होंने अगर सिर्फ कॉपी किया होता कहीं से तो उनको उस लेवल पे याद नहीं रहेगा जिस लेवल पे जब उन्होंने उसी चीज को एक बार लिख लिया तो वो नहीं याद होगा। Similarly is for notes. Okay, why are we emphasizing, ma'am, so much on the notes?
देखो, वन मिस्टर सतीश इज ऑल्सो आस्किंग कि भैया नोट्स में कितना लिखना है पता नहीं चलता है, ये प्रॉब्लम होती है। देखिए, तभी हम कहते हैं जो नोट्स बनाते हैं उसमें आपके हमेशा पॉइंटर्स होने चाहिए। मतलब बेसिकली क्या, आप बहुत बड़े बड़े पैराग्राफ्स मत लिखिए, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी पूरी चीजें मत लिखिए, अदरवाइज आप लिखते रह जाएंगे और जब लास्ट मोमेंट पे जब रिवीजन की बारी अगेन विल बी इन अ कंफ्यूजन, कितना पढ़ूं मैं। हाँ, एंड इट विल बी इक्विवेलेंट टू द स्टडी मटेरियल एट दैट टाइम। सो व्हाट द थिंग इज, नोट आपके हमेशा पॉइंटर्स फॉर्म में होने चाहिए, ब्रीफ में होने चाहिए। आप चाहे तो कोई निमोनिक्स यूज कर सकते हैं, आप चाहे तो कोई सिर्फ हेडिंग्स यूज कर सकते हैं, आप चाहे तो उसको फ्लो चार्ट के तौर पे जो की टर्म्स होते हैं उनको यूज करके कोई डायग्राम बना सकते हैं, और यू मे बी रिलेटिंग टू सम सॉर्ट ऑफ मूवीज और सम सॉर्ट ऑफ यू नो, हाँ, सॉन्ग्स रिलेट कर सकते हैं। बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनको आप डिफरेंट वे में एडेप्ट कर सकते हैं टू यूज
स्पीक इन इंग्लिश।
Okay, Tarunika. Okay, Tarunika, this is as simple. How much content should be there in the notes? Very simple. The note should be in bullet points. Either should be given in the headings, or it should not be more than 1 or 2 liner. Wherever suppose some big content is there, so it should be reduced in your own language in simple words in a 1 or 2 liner, so that it is a crisp and brief and easy to retain, and it will take less time in writing also. And this is only possible when you have understood the concept very nicely. जब आपने concept अच्छे को पढ़ लिया है, अच्छे से read कर लिया, then only it is possible for you to lay down the concept in a brief and in a simple language as per your understanding. This is what the notes are. So you have to go accordingly.
Okay, we have one information for you that students, we are using only the Telegram for official communication due to security reasons, and that's why we are not using the WhatsApp link. We are not using WhatsApp group, so no WhatsApp link has been shared. You have to download the Telegram app and then you can just join, have a group of your friends there. Okay. So, ma'am, you were saying, I'm sorry, because many students
that was very important information, because many students are asking for the WhatsApp group. So, dear students, kindly log in through, yeah, kindly click on the Telegram link that has been shared.
And download Telegram in your phone or tab, whatever you are using. So, ma'am, one more thing that the students were saying about this notes.
So, already I have explained them. It should be brief and crisp.
And I would add one more thing, ma'am. Never make the notes in the first instance itself.
Bilkul, bilkul.
When you are reading the book for the first time, you have now studied from your expert faculty also, like we will be having teachers for you for the rest of the sessions. So that teacher has told you. Now, if you make the notes then and there itself, what will happen is you will try to incorporate everything that you know, because that's what your brain will say. Now, if you are reading the detail book again, then you will understand, okay, the whole paragraph, this is the second time that you are reading, or maybe the third time, because now you understand, okay, though the whole paragraph is saying this, but the crux is only this much, okay, or this is derived from this, okay, this is reminding me of this. So you will now make the notes as your own, how the information is flowing, how the dates are flowing, how the penalties are flowing. Now you will have a apt idea what is important as per you also. For me, only this much was important what I have written, but in this, but for you, few more words may be important. So don't make the notes at the first instance itself.
वैसे भी generally we prefer, what we suggest to our students, first simply read the study material, simply read the content, the relevant material, okay. And when you read for the second time, then definitely you tend to understand, yes, this is the important aspect that has been elaborated and given in the legal provision. Then accordingly, you can jot it down in the form of the notes. So this is very clear, because the first time, as Shraddha said, you are not clear what exactly what is relevant for you, what is important for you. So at that moment, you only simply read it and try to understand what is all given over there, and simply keep on reading. And it may be possible something you will be able to understand, something you will not be able to get it, or you not be clear to you at that moment. But yes, whenever you are going to read it twice or next time, the next reading, so definitely you will be able to understand the law. And at that time, just frame the notes as per your understanding in your own language, in your own manner, so that it will save your time in the last moment during the time of the revision.
So I think, Satish, now your query has been beautifully answered by ma'am, that what should be the length. Now, what's the use of this notes? Like, you have read the study material 3 or 4 times minimum. Now, the next time, you will be reading from the notes. You will considerably be now reducing the time of your revision. And if you are, while reading those notes, you feel that, okay, I'm still not able to understand the specific provision, you will refer back the things that you have done from the study material. You will just read it again and then go back to the notes. So it will get registered in your mind. Now, one more important thing of the importance of making notes. Students are asking that I understand, but I am not able to write. Now, when you will be writing those notes, what you will be doing? You will not be writing in your mother tongue. Okay. You will not be writing it in your mother tongue. You will be writing it most probably in English only. Except for the few words which you may think that, okay, I need to understand it like that. So when you are writing those notes in English language, what will happen? You will write those keywords also. Like I have written, shall appoint within 60 days from the registration of the company. So this is the language of the law also. If I am writing it, I will be writing it again when I am doing my examination, or I am writing my examination. So this will solve not only one but multiple problems of yours, how to retain and to reproduce it while sitting in examination conditions. So this is the answer for the students who are asking that whether they can, that how should they write it, because samajh mein aa gaya but I am not able to write or retain and then write. And normal English mein can they write? Yes, you will be writing in normal English language only, but with the addition of those specific words. What do we say? Keywords.
Keywords, yes.
So how will you retain those keywords? रटने की जरूरत नहीं है. Repetition will lead to automatic ratification.
Perfection कैसा, जब वो बार बार काम करते हैं. ठीक है, कोई भी day one से is not a perfect person. Definitely it came with the passing of time when you did again and again repeatedly that act or the work. So here also the same thing, because somewhere to certain extent you have to retain the concept. It's a memory based paper, so you need to retain, you have got no choice. But how it could be developed, important key terms, key elements needs to be revised off and on, again and again, whenever you get the time. When you plan accordingly your timetable, then you need to, at that moment, what happens, if you plan accordingly, then you revise yourself and just do repeatedly, read the same thing, the same words, in the same manner, and definitely somewhere get registered, as Shraddha said. So this is required, because this is how you can go with the learning of the subject, and learning is of course there. To every extent, you cannot avoid it. You can't say कि भैया बिना learning करे हम काम करें, लेकिन learning करने के लिए कि क्या चीज आपको पढ़नी है, that could only be done when you are reading it, and to retain, repeatedly reading it.
Yes.
That is only
repetition.
Yes, that is only the possible way to just retain the important concepts.
So करत करत अभ्यास
जड़मत होए सुजान,
आगे नहीं आता.
आगे नहीं आता. रस्सी,
मुझे हिंदी उसका पता है कि आपकी जब रस्सी उससे बार बार निकलती है तो वो निशान आपके पत्थर पे डाल जाती है.
Yes.
So देखो, जितना मुझे याद था, क्योंकि मैंने भी उसे रिवाइज नहीं किया है.
This is a very simple and very live and very practical example.
Very practical example.
Yes.
If you ask me something else, I will be able to tell you, but मुझे यहीं तक ही मुहावरा याद था.
और ये भी याद रखिएगा, जब भी हम इतना सब बता रहे हैं आप इसको टालिएगा नहीं, क्योंकि इस पे कबीर का फिर दूसरा दोहा याद आ जाएगा, काल करे सो आज कर,
आज करे सो अब, पल में बहुरी होगी,
पल में प्रलय होएगी,
बहुरी करेगा कब. So do it right
So
now.
right, implement these all things, the tips, the do's and don'ts that we are going to share during the session, or that already we have shared with you certain tips. So keep doing and start it from today itself. Okay.
So the student will read, analyze, digest, recall and reproduce.
Wow,
very
good
nice.
lines. Very good lines. Yes.
मैं अच्छा
said.
बच्चे ने सबको ही लिखा है.
हाँ.
Read, analyze. अब very good point you have
हाँ.
given me. You have given me a very good line. Analyze, digest. तो हमने read की बात कर ली. We have talked about read. We have talked about recall. We have talked about reproduce also.
Reproduce also.
That we have talked. बट बच्चे ने दो चीजें बड़ी अच्छी लगी.
Analyze and digest.
जो ना लगा. एक मिनट नहीं. अच्छा प्रवीण कुमार. ओके. सो एनालाइज एंड डाइजेस्ट. अब ये एनालाइज एंड डाइजेस्ट क्या होगा? अभी तक तो मैं आपको बस यही कह रहे हैं बेटा, यहाँ से यू स्टडी फ्रॉम हियर और रिपीटेडली व्हेन यू डू इट यू विल बी एबल टू राइट इन द एग्जाम. अब आते हैं
एनालाइज वर्ड लेते हैं सबसे पहले. बहुत
इंपॉर्टेंट
वर्ड है.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि आपके एग्जाम का ना आधार है ये.
बिल्कुल. और आपका इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे यहीं पे डिफरेंस है फाउंडेशन और इंटरमीडिएट लेवल के. जब वे मतलब तो क्वेश्चंस आर बीइंग टेस्टेड, आपको जिस एंगल से पढ़ना है, जिस एंगल से सब्जेक्ट को समझना है, दैट इज द एप्लीकेशन, द एनालिटिकल पोर्शन. सो दैट इज द इम्पोर्टेंट एंड द बेस ऑफ दिस इंटरमीडिएट लेवल.
किसी भी चीज को समझने के लिए if I have to understand anything, how will I understand it? By analyzing it. I know ABC, but when will ABC solve all my problems, ma'am?
बिल्कुल नहीं. खाली एबीसी बोलने से क्या होगा?
I have to, whenever, if you have seen a small kid of around 5-6 years or 7 years, and you give them a question, वो आपसे एक सवाल पूछते हैं, इसमें करना क्या है? वो उतनी मेहनत नहीं करना चाहते. एंड इफ यू टेल देम कि आपको इसमें इन दिस एक्सरसाइज दैट इज गिवन यू हैव टू मैच दीज, और इफ यू दे हैव टू राइट द prepositions or something like that, बेटा you have to fill in under between. Now they will do it, but they don't want to read it exactly. They don't want to analyze it. You tell them the line ki the cat is under the table or above the table, but they don't want to put their mind in analyzing that where is that cat, but you have to tell them. So there comes the part of analyzing. And in your case you have to analyze the given provision.
Yes.
Then only, and apply it to the given situation which will be given to you during examination. Then only you will be able to come at a conclusion to write in your answer.
क्योंकि सिर्फ पढ़ लिया आपने, लॉ पढ़ लिया बस, तो आपका काम नहीं बनेगा. लेकिन लॉ को अप्लाई कैसे करना है? एंड डेफिनेटली the law is the outcome of various situations, you can say. If this is the situation, how the things will be done. If this is the situation, how we are going to tackle that situation. So law has that analytical part only, how you're going to apply the law in the different situations. So this is the analysis, this is the analytical approach that needs to be followed for understanding. In fact, during this intermediate, in the CA papers in specific, I'm talking about, your analytical testing is being done so that you grow with, you कहते हैं ना कि how you're going
Mind
to,
की growth.
आपकी overall growth है. It's not just कि आप academics पढ़ के सिर्फ आप वो बनते जा रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. आपको हर situation में कैसे आपने जो acquire किया, the knowledge that you've acquired, how you're going to apply that knowledge, that is the main object of this CA profession and the CA course.
ओके मैम, अगर इन्होंने सब कुछ पढ़ लिया, एनालाइज कर लिया, तो उन्हें समझ में आ जाएगा?
ऐसे थोड़ी नहीं. ऐसे होने लग गया तो क्या है, अब अगली बात स्टार्ट हो जाती है.
डाइजेस्ट. आपने प्रोविजन पढ़ा, आपने उसको समझा, जो आपकी एलवीसी की फैकल्टी जो आपको आगे पढ़ाएंगी. ओके, गुड इवनिंग. आई गॉट अ बिट वो कि क्या लिख रहा है बालक. So what happens is, you read a provision, the LVC faculty told you that बच्चों ये इसका मतलब है, हमने आज आपको बता दिया यहाँ से पढ़ना है, लेकिन वो पढ़ना किसे है? आपको. डाइजेस्ट किसे करना है? आपको. So now the faculty has told you that how will you interpret it, and they are telling it from their experience, they are telling it from the studies that they have done till now. So they may be referring to a n number of things, they are making a pool of resources or understanding for you. Now you have to grasp the things, digest them, and then you will be able to do it. Now comes the next step, जो हमने अपने स्टडी मटेरियल में देखा, टेस्ट योर नॉलेज. नाउ व्हाई शुड यू प्रैक्टिस दोस क्वेश्चंस?
आप क्वेश्चंस की प्रैक्टिस क्यों करनी है? बिकॉज at times what happens after reading the study mat, students are confused ki how they are going to test it, what nature of the questions will be asked, how they are going to touch upon the subject, किस तरह से टच अपॉन करेंगे एग्जाम में, एंड हाउ डू वी हैव टू रिस्पॉन्ड ऑन दोस नेचर्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चन दैट हैज बीन आस्क्ड. क्योंकि लॉ पढ़ लिया, दैट्स फाइन विद, बट इफ नॉट एबल टू रिप्रेजेंट योरसेल्फ, यू नॉट एबल टू राइट डाउन, यू हैव नॉट able to, you can say, just give the answer as it being expected in the examination situation, then all your the work, hard working will go in a सब waste हो जाएगा. So the thing is that you read the test of knowledge questions, whatever is given at the end of each chapter in the study material. It will give an insight ki yes, in the following way the following concept may be tested, the way they can ask the question with the following options somewhat near to, just to know and assess how much you are able to understand the concept. And for the descriptive question, how you are going to represent the the legal this paper, because you need to write down the legal provisions and how you're going to link with the legal issues, whatever is given in the questions, and then how you're going to conclude finally the law along with the issues as well with the conclusion, the problem, how the problem can be resolved in line with the what the law says about, so how it can be handled, how the law can regulate the situation. That is all being done through the nature of the questions that has been given at the end. You can understand ki yes, this is how they are being tested in exam and how we have to lay down the answers. So
correct,
that could be done up through
presentation
the practice part.
Yeah,
so that is basically focusing on the presentation part.
So if your teacher is telling you, supposedly we are talking about section 139, which is your appointment of auditors. The teacher has told you that the first auditor is to be appointed within so many days, or the firm, if it is a single auditor, then he can be appointed for 5 years, okay, and if it's a firm of auditors, then 2 terms of 5 years. Now they have explained you very well how it will be done, everything. In the exam, the question will not be that direct. The teacher has made you understand that what the provision is saying, what the provision intends to say, but how will you apply it in different situations? That
Yes.
will be done only through practice, for which you have many sources, like the questions at the back, which is your MCQ based question and your descriptive questions. That brings us to another important part of your examination. Students, we will be not discussing much about examinations in this session, because the focus of this session
How
is
to study.
how
as
to
of now.
study. It's a base building session, and examinations is your end result, end point.
और सीधा एंड पे जाने का टारगेट मत
बनाइए.
You
हाँ,
will miss
जैसे
many
बच्चों का-
things.
हाँ.
अगर आप सीढ़ियों का कोई एक स्टेप अगर आप स्किप कर जाते हो, what will happen? Will just fall down. So this is what. Anyways, let's continue, Shweta, with further. Yeah.
So what will happen is that the questions part we were talking about, I actually missed it. I was saying something else also. So now you need to see that how you have to do the practice questions also. So one is those that brings us, yes, I was telling them that it brings us to an important point as your examination. The examination pattern is such that you will be tested for 100 marks So in those, there are two portions. One is your case scenario, which is your MCQ based portion, which is for 30 marks. And then there is 70 marks of descriptive portion. That's why in your test your knowledge you saw there were two parts, MCQs and the descriptive portion. So now the question comes, from where should we practice both of these parts? For the MCQ portion, test your knowledge, and then we have this case scenario booklet. So this is a case scenario booklet in which case scenarios are given. So what do we mean by case scenarios? A certain scenario will be given. It will not be containing just one part. It will be containing information about a given company or the situation with many facts, and then this scenario will be followed by a few MCQ based questions, and each MCQ has 4 options, out of which you have to attempt the most appropriate answer. So one is this. So case scenarios you have to do, and you can practice the case scenarios from this case scenario booklet. Then now we are telling you about the sources that are available for practice. So one is this case scenario booklet. Then you have your revisionary test papers. Okay, we have the revisionary test papers for earlier attempts also. You can practice the questions from here also.
We have model test papers.
Yes, we have these model test papers also for you. Oh, sorry, not for group 2. So you can see just like for group 1 also we have these model test papers. Okay, then apart from that, one more, the previous year suggested answers. See, previous years, I think I have opened the wrong link. Something is off. Suggested answers, sorry. So these are the latest suggested answers
5
for you.
attempts, yeah.
Like, see, this is there. It contains the exact blueprint or exact question paper which came in the September 2025 examination. It will help you in the practice portion. See, so you can practice from here. You have ample of practice questions if you refer all these resources. In the times to come when you will be doing the chapters, start your studies and then start revising hand to hand. It will help you a lot. Then now let's get back to the place from where it all started, ma'am.
Yeah.
Their PPT.
Yes.
So we have told you what to study and from where to study. It's just a simple PPT for you. This we have
already done it. We have already just told you about the subject and everything. So we are not just going to focus much on this particular part. We can skip this one. This already been told by Shraddha ki which all study matter is relevant for you and which edition you have to refer for. That is there. Then revisionary test paper, of course.
So what is that revisionary test paper?
For practice, for revision.
Okay, so there is this revisionary test paper. It consists of 2 parts. One is your amendments and then certain questions for your practice. Then Saransh we have discussed. Bare Acts we have discussed.
And RTP will come with its respective attempts. So for September 26 we are talking about, so definitely its RTP is going to be come accordingly. So you can refer the latest RTP just from the point of view of amendments. But yes, questions at the same time in line with the recent amendments. You can refer from earlier RTPs also, 1 or 2 attempts, not of very, you can say very earlier one. But yes, 1 or 2 attempts RTPs can be referred. That too in line with the recent amendments. So this is being done. Yeah, Saransh already told, Barrett's told. Then about this model test, mock test papers already just said you for practice part. Whatever you have read so far, how you can assess yourself, what you have read it, how much you have understood, and how you can represent it if you're going to appear in the examination. And suppose that questions comes over there, then how you're going to write down, how you're going to represent yourself. So that could be done through the way of the mock test papers. So just these papers are physically being conducted in respective branches, or you can also do at your own. These are being hosted on the BOS portal as per the schedule. Okay, so you can just appear in this mock test paper so that you can also have a practice besides with the confidence ki yes, I'm ready and I'm prepared, and where you are ever you are lacking, then you can focus on that particular point.
So this mock test papers will be done at the end. They will
Yeah.
not be done right now. They will be starting somewhere for September 2026.
In August,
Exist,
it may be there,
yes,
July or
July, August time
two
they will be
series are there
starting.
basically. One comes in July and other comes in August.
So you have to wait till then, and they are kept at the last so that by that time you have already completed your studies, and then you are doing these papers. They are exactly the same pattern as the examination, but because they are not the exact final examination, so they are known as mock test papers. You can either attempt them on your own, or you can better be going to the branches
That
and
is more better because it will give you feel that you are appearing in the examination, and that is very important. So when you are going to appear in physical manner, so within 3 hours, the strictly the requirements that you should be writing through this pen in this manner, and how you will be writing in the examination copy and all this, that will give a different kind of feel, yes, you are appearing in the examination itself. So that is a kind of a mock. So that practice is absolutely being required. So prefer to go for physical appearing of this MTPs.
And then next is your model test papers booklet is there that we just told you. Then one more important thing is your MCQ dashboard. Okay, we are giving very many ways to practice your MCQs. So we told you about the case scenario booklet. Then there is this MCQ dashboard also, which is very much available on the BOS knowledge portal. You can log in through your student IDs, and it is also available on this mobile app,
Yes.
and it contains around 200 independent questions, MCQ questions, and around 50 case scenarios.
Yes.
So just you can go there and start attempting, like once you have finished your studies or finished that a particular like Companies Act you have finished, or you have finished your GC, so you can start attempting the questions. You can choose that which case scenario you want to practice today, then you can do it.
Because along with this heading it is given, do you feel like that you are weak in certain topics, suppose in GC or in interpretation, not interpretation, but yes, in GC or FEMA, then you can pick that particular question for practice also. But yes, these MCQ dashboard itself at the very same moment give the result also, whether you have marked the correct answer or the wrong answer. So definitely if something has been marked wrong over there, then you can cross check your concept once again, and then again you can see the correct answer, and you can just revise where you have been lacking that particular concept, where you have mistaken it, because you were somewhere lacking the conceptual understanding. Because of that only it may be possible that you have marked the wrong answer over there. So it is required कि yes, आप अच्छे से पढ़ लिए उसके बाद करें, और गलत भी हो जाए तो फिर से देख सकते हैं.
And these all, there are the different means to make you revise. Some people feel comfortable while reading on book. Some people feel comfortable and more energized when they are doing it online. So we are providing different means so that you keep on practicing and ultimately getting good marks. Then another way is your suggested answers, which we just told. So we were just talking about the RTP. We have been saying that the relevant edition for you is the July 2024, and the reprint, it has been reprinted in August 2025. This reprint edition contains amendments up to 31st of July 2025. But for September 2026 students, the amendments up to 28th of February 2026 are applicable. Basically, the cutoff period of 6 months before the examination is there. So, if there is any relevant amendment that comes within that period, that will be made applicable, and that is made applicable for you, that will be communicated to you in two ways. One is through the RTP, and the other, it is similarly available on the website of the institute also. So these, it will be from 1st August 2000, sorry, yeah, 1st August 2025 till 28th of February.
February 2026.
Next.
E-resources already has been discussed what all e-resources are. But yes, one important thing which you all already aware, you have logged in through, yes, live virtual classes. So live virtual classes is already told we will covering the whole syllabus over here, where the subject expert faculty will be taking up the sessions and will be just not only taking up the classes and making you comfortable as well as understanding the the subject itself, but yes, they will also take up the queries, your issues, your concern, where you are stuck up or wherever you have any sort of confusion in understanding of the legal provisions. The live virtual classes will be there, and they will also be sharing their notes, their assessments will be there, and in between the session they will also be testing you through what sort of the questions are being asked, or through raising up the questions itself pertaining to the respective topics, so that you will be getting a clear idea ki yes, this is the provision and how this question is being tested over and how it can be applied, how it can be analyzed. That all thing will be done during the live virtual classes. So it's a kind of a classroom, matlab, of course face to face teaching is not there, classroom teaching is not there, but yes, this virtual classes is a kind of boon to our students, because looking to the past experience of our students, those who have got passed with a very good flying, with the flying colors, they have passed their papers and all these things. So they have said ki yes, this LVC class were of great help to them. It's a kind of directly, you are being connected with the subject through these live virtual classes. So along with this, Saransh already discussed, MCQ dashboard already discussed. So these are all the e-resources. These e-resources are available for the benefit of you students. It is now up to you कि how much best you are going to utilize yourself. आपके हाथ में सब कुछ दे दिया है. अब now it depends upon you how you handle the things. कैसे आप हैंडल करेंगे, कैसे उसको यूज करेंगे और कैसे उसको डाइजेस्ट करेंगे, कैसे उसको एनालाइज करेंगे, कैसे उसको आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा बेटर तरीके से यूटिलाइज करें, सो दैट you will be giving maximum benefits. So kindly go through all these things. These are available for you students on the BOS portal.
ये आपके BOS नॉलेज पोर्टल पे अवेलेबल है और आपके मोबाइल ऐप पे भी ये सारे रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं. एंड जैसे आजकल टेक से भी बच्चे हैं सारे, सो आपके मोबाइल ऐप पे भी सब कुछ अवेलेबल है. एंड हाउ टू इंस्टॉल, दिस इज अ वेरी लाइक, अगर आपका गूगल प्ले स्टोर से कर सकते हैं और एंड आईफोन्स पे आप
इससे कर सकते हैं.
ये आपका एप्पल प्ले स्टोर
और
से
ये
कर
तो
सकते
होना ही चाहिए
हैं.
जब आप इतना सब कुछ आपने कितने सारी चीजें डाउनलोड कर रखी होती है, सर्टेन टाइप्स ऑफ एप्स होते हैं जो आप आज के टाइम में यूज कर रहे हैं फॉर बेनिफिट्स के लिए. तो दीज आर ऑल्सो मेंट फॉर द बेनिफिट स्टूडेंट फॉर एनी टाइम एनी वेयर फैसिलिटी के साथ. आपको कभी लगता है कि चलो अब कौन लैपटॉप उठ के खोले, मैं भी बेड पे बैठा हुआ हूँ, लेटा हुआ हूँ, इट्स अबाउट टू स्लीप का मतलब 10 10:30 बज रहे हैं, इट्स अबाउट के अभी हाफ एन आवर और जग लेता हूँ, and you just don't want to open up your laptop. So definitely mobile is handy and you're always carrying with yourself. So you can simply, by logging at the BS mobile app, simply you can refer any of the available e-resources that already we have discussed with you, and whatever the different kinds of resources, whether it may be MTP, assisted answer, if you want to even watch the recorded lectures, that too are also available on the BOS mobile app. वो आप देख सकते हैं. तो you can utilize your time with the maximum benefits that has been provided for you students. So आपको ये सब देखना है, and with this है ना, हम चाहते हैं आप थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लिया जाए, because since you all students are there from more than 1.5, it's about 1.5 hours. Yes. So जाइए, रिज्यूम नोट होके आइए, एक ग्लास पानी पीजिए and come back to us after
right now it's 7:30,
yeah,
so around 7:38, 40.
So we'll
maximum.
We'll meet at around 7:40. So please जाइए, take a rest and let's have a break. Technical team, please have a break. Must have been now full of energy once again in this session. So as far as we were discussing, and I'm continuing with that, these are the access that we have given for installation to BIOS mobile app. Kindly go through it and get it done so that you are easily approachable. Okay, dear students. Now moving to the next one. Yes, the amendments. Amendments are very, very important part, particularly with the subject which are of dynamic in nature. If you talk about the law yes is very dynamic because it changes with the situation, it changes with the requirement, the change in the society. So it's the part of the, for survival, you can say there is a requirement to live a, you can say, a good life, and to lead a life, a happy life, a healthy life, as well as a competitive life. Wherever there is there, you need to have changes in the law that is regulating that specific act or the particular act, and in that case the amendments comes into the picture. So whenever the society changes, the situations changes, the law is also required to be changed to align with the requirements, and that is why the amendments are there. And you know who the true professionals are? The true professional is the person who is updated with the recent changes in the subject, who is updated with the recent requirements to regulate the act, who is updated. So that is the nature of the true professionalism. And being a chartered accountant, I'm telling you students, you need to keep yourself updated. And since the base of most of the important subject and the chartered accountancy course is the law based, as we have initially said to you, it may be direct tax, frequently changed every year with the passing of the Finance Act. So you need to keep yourself updated. Similarly, with the requirement of the change in law, you need to keep yourself updated in the accounting standards, the financial, that part is also very important in the accounts part. Then similarly, if you go into the audit part, of course, the lot of changes are there, either through the way of the essays, changes in the essays, or in the law that is being forming the part of the audit. Similarly, of course, in our paper, since it's a purely law-based, of course, the amendments are the key things that you need to keep yourself updated in yourself. So you should be knowing about the amendments, where all these amendments comes about, because the student doesn't know where these amendments are being there. So little bit later on, this Shraddha is going to show you where you can see your amendments also, because this is an important aspect, and we want our students to be very much familiarized to where the respective laws you can go and see where that amendments has come. So you can simply go and find it out. The Companies Act. Who is the regulating body of the Companies Act? It is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs bring the changes in the law, particularly the law, the Companies Act I'm talking about. Even the LLP, you will be finding the changes related to the LLP Act also over the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website. These are the government bodies. These are the regulating bodies, who generally bring out the laws, and whenever any changes takes place, so they just web host the necessary, that whatever the amendments are there on their website, so that you can go on the respective websites and you can find out what all changes has been made recently within the act. So you keep yourself updated. And for your applicability point of view, of course, as already said, 6 months cutoff period is there from the examination. If suppose your examination is September 26, so definitely the 6 months cutoff period will be restricting up to 20th Feb 2026. So you need to understand up till that cutoff period, you are being required to keep yourself updated. But as a professional, when you further pass the chartered accountancy course, so these things you need to inculcate in yourself, that yes, daily you need to watch or you need to visit all these regulatory websites, the regulatory bodies website, so that you can understand these are the recent amendments that is there.
So if we can see the website of the institute.
Here, institute, you can show, later on show about the MC
Yes.
also, a bit of about the Ministry of Corporate Affairs also.
Amendments and developments. You can see this. So you click here, and then like for January 2026, we have uploaded till now because students should not get confused. So these are the applicable amendments for you. No, like for the January 2020.
And these are the amendments are many,
Okay.
but only the relevant amendments which is pertaining to you, which is related to you, that only has been given in the RTP. But yes, there There is a Ministry of Corporate Affairs website. So we are just visiting and taking a view of this particular website.
This mca.gov.in, they will not be asking you in examinations directly. It's actually, I told you, this is a very base building kind of a session, so that you know from where उद्गम हम जैसे कहते हैं ना, where what is the starting point of
और
things.
हमने इनको एक बात कही थी कि वी आर शेपिंग योर फ्यूचर. तो ये सब चीज आपको फ्यूचर कोर्स में मदद करेगा. हाउ यू कैन move forward and develop and have a growth in your future.
तो जैसे हम अभी तक आपसे acts and rules की बात कर रहे हैं, actually what are acts? So when a parliament passes an enactment and it is passed by both the houses of parliament and it receives the assent of the President of India, and then when it is published in the official gazette, then it becomes an act. Now, if you, whatever I just said, passed by both the houses of parliament, then it receives the assent of the president and then it is published in the official gazette, then it becomes an act. So knowing the country and knowing that it will not be a very easy task to change the act now and then. If you see, आप बहुत बार सुनते होंगे कि ये बिल जो है वो संसद में पेश किया जा रहा है, that such and such bill is being introduced in the winter session of the parliament or such things, or the monsoon session of the parliament. There was a large protest, the bill could not be passed. So until unless it passes all those 4 stages, the bill will not become an act.
So this is the difference between bill and act.
Yes. Now supposedly an act has been passed. It has been made. If you want to make an amendment in the act, how will you make it?
हाँ, very simple. अगर भाई करना है तो कैसे करेंगे? आपको बिल है. Bill is a kind of taking the suggestion of various experts from different sort of the industries, experts, and you will find your different stakeholders are there, different from different fields. The expert peoples are being there who just give their suggestions on regulating or certain kind of the act which needs to be passed. On that particular thing, they seek the suggestions, how the law could be framed, how that situations can be regulated or controlled, or what are the things which will be governed under this act, which will be covered under the scope, within the scope of that particular act. All these things are being pondered and considered, and then a draft bill is being that is being let down, and that draft bill is presented before their different steps are there, different standing committees are there, groups are there, they are
Yes.
being presented before them for their again the changes or additional requirements to be
बार-बार
added on.
change होता रहता
Yes,
है.
तभी तो कहते हैं लॉ एक दिन में पास नहीं होता, it takes them many years sometime. तो ये ऐसा नहीं, और बहुत लोगों की उसमें कहते हैं इन्वॉल्वमेंट होती है, बहुत डिफरेंट माइंड्स लगे होते हैं,
और बहुत stakeholders होते हैं.
Yes, different minds are being applied from the different fields in the area, so that it would come out perfectly covering each and every aspect being covered under that particular act. So that is being done, and after it being passed by the group or the committees and all these things, these are being presented before the houses. The houses, the legislatures who are law making bodies actually. So they are presented before them and then being passed by the Rajya Sabha and by the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the, you can see it's the lower house. Which regulates the cabinet is there, who passes down these laws, and after the consensus of both the houses, it is being presented before the president for their assent. Yes, this is the final law, the final form of the law actually that needs to be enacted, and after being given the consent, it is being published in the Gazette Notice for public information. Yes, now it is an act. It is now that bill has been formed and came out in the form of an act. So this is very interesting thing, but yes, you've seen sometimes why we are teaching it, but this is because this is important GC Act also sometimes.
GC में, और अभी आपको इसमें
हाँ.
बहुत important हम आपको बात बताने वाले हैं. एक्ट मैम आपने करवा दिया पास, मतलब बिल को एक्ट
एक बार एक्ट बन गया सपोज.
अब मैम ने आपको बिल से लेके एक्ट तक की जो एक जर्नी बताई, द जर्नी विच शी हैज टोल्ड यू. डू यू थिंक जब भी कोई चीज बनती है, व्हेनेवर एन एक्ट इज पास, इज इट परफेक्ट?
नहीं,
और नहीं होता, और
कोई भी चीज एक बार में परफेक्ट नहीं होती है. इट चेंजेस. आपको मतलब लगा कि आज ये रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, सपोज सम चेंजेस देयर इन द इकोनॉमी, व्हाट विल हैपन, दैट चेंजेस लीड टू अ सर्टेन चेंजेस इन द रिक्वायरमेंट, और आपकी नेसेसिटी और रिक्वायरमेंट चेंज की जरूरत है, देन अकॉर्डिंगली द लॉ विल बी amended, as already I've said you when before I was just explaining you about the amendment part, कि as per the requirement, the change in the society. So definitely there's a need of change in the law also.
Okay. So ma'am, they have to, every time they have to make an amendment in the act, they have to repeat all these steps.
बिल्कुल, फिर टाइम वापस लगेगा.
फिर
Until
time
that time
लगेगा.
आप क्या करोगे? पुराना लॉ फॉलो करोगे, नया लॉ फॉलो करोगे, या क्या करोगे? Again it will take a year and year time.
तो इसीलिए एक मिडल पाथ निकाला गया है. एक्ट एक बार बनने के बाद, whenever an act is passed, legislation is passed, I'm using a very crude term, कि एक्ट बन गया, अब हम उसको इतनी जल्दी चेंज नहीं कर सकते. बट हमारा एनवायरमेंट इस समय इतना डायनेमिक है. इफ वी सी द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट, इट वाज मेड इन 1872
ड्यूरिंग द ब्रिटिशर्स टाइम. इंग्लिश लॉ हमने अडॉप्ट किया हुआ है एज इट इज.
और सेल्स ऑफ गुड्स एक्ट इज 1930. सो इतने पुराने एक्ट बने हुए हैं. लेकिन व्हेन इट कम्स टू कंपनीज
कॉर्पोरेट्स, बेसिकली कॉर्पोरेट आपकी इकोनॉमी को रेगुलेट करता है ना. कॉर्पोरेट जितने भी है, जनरली द रेगुलेटिव इकोनॉमी, एंड सो द रिक्वायर्ड चेंजेस वेरी फ्रीक्वेंटली.
क्योंकि आप आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड से डील कर रहे हो. आज हम सिर्फ इंडिया में नहीं है, हम आउटसाइड इंडिया है. जैसे ही आप देख रहे हो मार्केट कितना जल्दी, सेबी क्यों चेंज हो रहा है, मार्केट रेगुलेटर है. ये सारे एक्ट्स आपके लिए सेबी नहीं है, बट आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू. तो उसके केस में, कंपनीज एक्ट के केस में, व्हाट विल दे डू? उन्होंने एक पाथ निकाला, एक लाइन लिखते हैं. अब आप जब अपना पूरा पढ़ाई करेंगे तो उसमें एक लाइन पढ़ेंगे, एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. एक्ट की बहुत जगह लाइनों में उन्होंने लिख दिया कि हम अभी एक्ट में ऐसा कह रहे हैं, बाकी एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड. इस लाइन को ना कहीं रट के, मतलब रटी जाएगी आपको, इतनी जगह आप पढ़ोगे.
जब आप पढ़ोगे कंपनी, बार बार हर प्रोविजन में आपको एक ही चीज मिलेगी.
अब वो क्यों कह रहे हैं एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड, अब आपको समझ में आएगा. ये जो इतना मैंने यहाँ पे दिख रहा है मेरा कर्सर, एक्ट्स एंड रूल्स, ये एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब्ड जो है वो आपसे कहता है कि प्लीज आप जाके रेफर करें इससे रिलेटेड रूल को. क्योंकि एक्ट चेंज करने के लिए हमें फिर से वो बिल से लेके वहां तक की जर्नी जो मैम ने भी बताई एक्ट की, वो फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे सारे रूल. लेकिन जब बात आती है हमारे रूल्स की, तो हम रूल्स को चेंज कर सकते हैं कैसे? द गवर्नमेंट कैन डू इट ऑन इट्स ओन. उसको इतना लंबा प्रोसीजर नहीं फॉलो करना पड़ता जैसे कि उसे फॉलो करना पड़ता है एक्ट के केस में. सो दे डोंट हैव टू फॉलो द एग्जैक्ट प्रोसीजर ऑफ द जर्नी फ्रॉम अ बिल टू अ एक्ट. Rather, they have taken out a middle path as may be prescribed. So very important or very core things are written in the act, but where they feel that it needs the flexibility as well as the dynamism, so they have referred it to the government directly with the help of writing as may be prescribed, on which the government can directly, the MC can make the rules and give you the amendments.
Yes, very nicely explained, Shraddha. एक चीज का ध्यान रखना, एक्ट कौन बनाता है और रूल्स कौन बनाता है. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस इन बोथ द बॉडीज, यू नो. आपका जब एक्ट बनाते हैं वो आपकी पार्लियामेंट बना रही है, ठीक है, आपकी लॉ मेकिंग बॉडी द लेजिस्लेचर इनएक्टिंग द लॉज. रूल्स कौन बना रहा है भाई? रूल्स बना रही है सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. दिस इज वेरी सिंपल. द गवर्नमेंट, जो भी रेगुलेटिंग बॉडी, आप जैसे यहाँ पे MCA इज द रेगुलेटिंग बॉडी, द गवर्नमेंट. सो दे आर कमिंग आउट विद द रूल्स. और जब रूल्स के थ्रू दे कीप ऑन चेंजिंग एज मे बी प्रिस्क्राइब में, अकॉर्डिंगली वेर एवर दे हैव प्रिस्क्राइब दे कैन चेंज द एक्ट एज पर दैट थ्रू अ सेपरेट नोटिफिकेशंस. तब आपको ये भी पता चाहिए नोटिफिकेशंस क्या होते हैं. जब हम अमेंडमेंट्स की बात करते हैं, इट कम्स आउट इन द फॉर्म्स ऑफ द नोटिफिकेशन. यू विल बी सीइंग ओवर हियर.
मैं आपके पास फर्दर जाती हूँ तो आप लोगों को एक चीज समझ में आ गई. एक होते हैं एक्ट्स और उससे रिलेटेड होते हैं रूल्स. और एक बालक ने बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा है. अ स्टूडेंट हैज आस्क्ड अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. मैम, व्हेन शुड वी रीड अमेंडमेंट? शुड वी रीड इट आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग सिलेबस और आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग एनी पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर? if you know the amendments and if you are having them with you right now, you should read it then and there itself.
बिल्कुल, क्योंकि आप exact वही चीज पढ़िए ना जो है, which is existing as of now. Read only that part. Why do we confuse yourself reading the earlier law or the new one? So always Just mark in your schedule. Suppose if there's change in the number of days or some type of filing or some requirements, just mark within your notes or in the study material that this has been changed to this and this, and read that only, so that that is very much clear. Yes, this is the exact law which is existing in today's scenario.
So we have acts and rules, and if I see, this is the Companies Act 2013. Okay, so we have the act. See, like the
Yes,
chapter.
you can see the chapter wise. Yeah, then in chapter you can see the topics.
Let me just open this. The like section is there. So see, the chapter 1 contains 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. And chapter 2 contains like from section 3 till section 22. So if I open this section, which is your section 3, this is your Bare Act actually. Exactly, this is Bare Act. So we have the hard copies also. Here we are making you see it in the soft, which is your basic MCA, which is the regulating authority or body for the Companies Act.
कभी आपको देखना, you can also go to the e-books available on the website.
So now they are telling you about the exact. अब यहाँ से थोड़ा सा बच्चे ध्यान देंगे, थोड़ी टेक्निकल चीजें आपको हम बताएंगे. So see, they are writing 3 formation of company. So what is this? This is section 3. An act consists of sections. Then the section is further divided into
subsections.
And then we have the clause. So the steps are like the section,
the main part of the law.
Then we have the subsection like this. और उसका भी जो पार्ट होता है उसे हम कहते हैं क्लॉज.
जरूरत क्या है सेक्शंस और इनकी सबकी? लॉ लिख दो खाली. व्हाई डज इट नीड? बताओ, व्हाई डज इट नीड?
अभी मैं बताती हूँ उनको. एक चीज और मैं बता दूं, ठीक है. फिर ये हमारे 3 क्लॉजेस हो गए. फिर उसके बाद एक लिखा है बड़ा ही प्यारा शब्द, प्रोवाइडेड. अब ये प्रोवाइडेड क्या कहना चाहते हैं? देखो, एक्ट इज अमेंडेड एंड रूल्स इज कमेंटेड, प्रोसेस एंड राइट.
नहीं बेटा, रूल्स इज नॉट कमेंट्री एक्चुअली. Rules is basically the application of the law or certain kind of changes which they require to make it separately how to apply the act. So that is being separately given through the way of the rules, and that is given by the notified by the central government.
और दूसरा आपके एक्ट को और एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है रूल्स. ठीक है,
एग्जीक्यूशन है बेसिकली एक्ट का.
तो ये एक आपका इन्होंने लिखा, अ कंपनी में बी फॉर्म्ड फॉर एनी लॉफुल पर्पस. अभी हम पब्लिक कंपनी के लिए पढ़ते हैं. 7 और मोर पर्सन्स विद द कंपनी, मतलब एक कंपनी को बनाने के लिए, पब्लिक कंपनी बनाने को हमें 7 या उससे ज्यादा लोगों की जरूरत पड़ती है. ठीक है. फिर उन्होंने ना एक ही बड़ा प्यार से प्रोविजो दे रखा है, प्रोवाइडेड दैट. अब प्रोवाइडेड दैट क्या होता है? जो आपका मेन सेक्शन कह रहा है. अब हम कह रहे हैं कि देखो सेक्शन तो ये चीज कह रहा है, क्लॉज ये चीज कह रहा है, लेकिन ये कंडीशन. अब वो एक्सेप्शन की तरीके से हो सकती है, कंडीशन की तरीके से हो सकती है, या अडेंडम की तरीके से भी हो सकती है, एडिशन. ये आपको बेसिक अब समझना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि जब आप दूसरी क्लास में जाएंगे, अपनी जो फर्स्ट आपके टेक्निकल सेशन शुरू होंगे, वहां पे आपके ये चीज काम में आने वाली है.
कई जगहों पे डेफिनेशंस देने के बाद आपको ये प्रोविजो थ्रू द प्रोविजो दे हैव कहते हैं ना, पुट ऑन सर्टेन कंडीशंस, कि आप ये तभी कर सकते हैं जब ये कंडीशंस होंगी. तो ये आपको समझना पड़ेगा थोड़ा इन चीजों को.
हाँ, वो अभी आपको समझ में आएगा, लेकिन आप बेसिक यहाँ पे समझेंगे तो आपको आगे क्लासेस में आसानी रहेगी. ऐसे ही मेरा सबसेक्शन 2 है. Okay, I will talk in English. So we have this first section, then subsection, then clauses, and sometimes, not always, it is followed by provided that, which is a proviso. Proviso means it is an exception or something in addition to what has been written above. Now we were telling you about as may be prescribed. See. So if I click on this, it is opening a rule for me.
Respective rule, the related rule, है ना?
Yes, the respective rule that is being opened. So supposedly this proviso was telling me something about member of one person company, how they will tell about the nominations and everything.
What are their duties? मतलब उन members को क्या करना है? If they are the members of a OPC company, what are required to do basically?
So now they are giving further informations which are subject to changes, not in the act itself, but through as may be prescribed, which is the rules. So Companies Act has to be read necessarily along with the rules. I hope it's clear. Anything else that you want to know on this?
And even you're finding one, there's an amendment rules. You know, whenever certain kind of amendments is made in the act. So as already said, the whole act is not being revised. Okay, through the way of that certain portions, amendment in that certain portion or the provisions, they come out with an amendment act or amendment rules. Means the whole rules are not revised. Any specific part of that rule or the act is being revised, that comes in the form of amendment under the heading Amendment Act in the year. In whichever year that amendment has been made, that the name of the year will be there. Suppose if you see here in this particular page, you'll be seeing that substituted by Companies Incorporation 5th Amendment Rules 2016. That means this rule was amended.
A particular portion of this,
Yes.
like if I see this.
This is how you can take
One.
any of the thing. I am.
One. Where
Yeah,
it
right.
is?
Yeah, right. This is the.
So there is a particular amendment which came one. So now they are talking about this one only.
So when this amendment came, so they are just
In 2017.
Yes, that they lay down the year. Whatever the year is given, that is the year in which the amendment has came, and through which number of the amendment. If it is first amendment in that year, it will come out as first amendment. If it is the second number of the amendment came in that respective rules or the acts in the year, then they will say Second Amendment Act 2016, 17, 18, whatsoever the year is. So this is how the law is being read, and many times in the Companies Act you will be finding out these things, the various names of the Amendment Act or the amendment rules, so that it should be clear and you should understand how does it should be read in line with the principal act, the mother act. This is hope this is clear to you, and you should be reading it down in this manner only to understand the law in entirety actually.
Okay, Dhanlakshmi is asking Company Act should read or referred in MCA website. That is the basic place from where we also refer the Companies Act. Now what happens is we in the study material, ma'am, we have not made all the rules applicable for you. So we choose only certain specific rules for you, and then we make the study material with the help of those. The act is in full and related and respective rules for you, not everything. So it is better that you refer the detailed book, the study material. If you are in a position to read it from the MCA website, that's nothing like that.
MCA basically is the regulating body where whatever the act they bring out, they just web host on their website so that public can refer the same. You are having the study material, but public is not having the study material all the time with them. So it is the place where the government come out for the public information, the act, the various things they come out with for the reference of the public.
Okay, I think we have guided them enough on this.
Yeah.
So coming back to that, why we were.
So with respect to amendment we were talking about, कहते हैं जब तक amendment नहीं पता है ना तो आपको law नहीं पता है, law नहीं पता है means just only reading half the story. So आपको पूरा law पता होना चाहिए along with its amendment. Okay, हमने आपको study material में पहले ही श्रद्धा ने बता दिया था it is containing the amendments up till 31st July 2025. Then what about the further amendments? The further amendments that came after this releasing of the publication. So that amendments will come separately on the website also under the recent developments, under the heading under BIOS knowledge portal, or you can also find in the RTP. वो भी हम separately देते हैं for your references from the whichever is the relevant amendments that we provide over there. ठीक है, तो for period अगर आप September में you are appearing in September 2026, so of course the cutoff period is from 1st August 2025 to 28th February 2026. So you need to refer all these amendments. Fine, because don't skip these amendments because many times the questions are being tested and sometimes the number of minor change through the way of the amendments in the act can affect on your answers also. Sometimes the question is being tested on the recent amendments and you have missed out that amendment suppose. So definitely then your answers will be wrong. Your conclusion will be wrong. So that way don't miss out the amendments, read it and just mark within your main notes whichever so you are referring for your examination perspective, just read it down, just mark all those amendments and read the law, the amended one, so that you're not being confused.
And apart from that, like ma'am said about September 26, supposedly your exam is in January 27. So amendments up to 30th of June 2026 will be applicable. And if you are giving your exam in supposedly May 2027, then amendments up to 31st October 2026 will be applicable. We will be apprising you of all these things again also. So amendments, because the legislature makes it. Revision of subject, I think we have touched upon it in a quite a detail.
हाँ, ये सब हम टच कर चुके हैं. So I suppose you all have understood how to go with the
examinations हमने आपसे discuss कर लिया.
ये थोड़ा सा हम कर देते हैं, थोड़ा सा बस ये this skill wise assessment grid.
So skill wise assessment grid, what does that mean? What happens is the questions that will be asked from you. There are two types of questions that can be asked. I'm not talking about the case scenarios and the descriptive. I'm just talking in general. There are two kinds of questions. One is like describe the process to incorporate a company. Okay. So this is basically knowledge and comprehension, or comprehension or knowledge, that is seeking. What does that mean? The questions which require you to just, if you know a provision, to remember it and then write it. There is not much of analysis involved in that question. So they will be direct kind of questions. But right now those kind of questions are asked quite less. Then the second portion will be application and analysis, in which in a given situation you will be asked to analyze the situation, apply the related provision, take an amalgamation of the facts of the question or the situation with the relevant provision, and then you need to provide a conclusion also. So those are application and analysis. Generally the paper would be somewhere like 60% application and analysis. It can go beyond this also, because this is just a kind of a what should I say, recommendatory.
Yes.
Okay. But right now if I see the portions, it is going much beyond that, and that is a welcome step also, because your brain is getting developed on all those points. And even in knowledge and comprehension, they will not be direct. In that also, the situation will be given to you, and then you will be asked to write the related provision with less of analysis. Okay. So this is the basic difference between knowledge and comprehension and application and analysis. So if you see the company law portion and the LLP portion, the percentage of application and analysis is much higher, which is 60%, and it can go beyond 60 also. It can be 70 also. And in part 2, if you see, the application is around 45 to 55%. So the scope of application is less in this other laws portion. This we have discussed with you, illustrative paper pattern, 30 and 70 marks.
This is MCQs part, already said 30 marks. This segment is there for the MCQs.
And all compulsory.
Yes, and you must be seeing that it will be a case scenario based, followed by 3 to 5 MCQs. So that will be of 2 marks each.
Which we showed you in the
case on the dashboard also. Yeah. So kindly go with it, so that you may have a practice and an idea about the MCQs. Then this is the division P paper pattern, that is descriptive one, because 30 marks segments is for MCQs and 70 marks segment is about a descriptive paper. So they are testing your that writing skills, how you are able to lay down your answers, how you are able to present your answer, the legal language and all being tested there. So you'll be seeing that it's of 70 marks.
क्योंकि क्लाइंट से तो आपको प्रॉपर लाइंस में ही बात करनी है,
बिल्कुल वहाँ पे MCQs नहीं चलेगा. So this is also the necessary part, that you must be having the descriptive part.
This is very like I think we can take it after you have taken 1 or 2 classes.
ये हम बाद में भी डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, because अभी पढ़ाई पे ही फोकस करिए. अभी आपको कैसे आंसर देना है, we will focus later on.
So I think कुछ मैम बच्चों की ना क्वेरीज लेते हैं.
हाँ, sure.
Because queries बहुत सारी हैं बच्चों की. Okay. Ma'am, can you please confirm recorded lectures are better or live, as there are notes too? Any given day, live lectures are better.
भाई queries आप पूछ सकते हैं very same moment whatever we are discussing. Suppose you find something which we are discussing and you find कि oh this is thing how it is to be done, then you can discuss it very same moment at the relevant point of time. So you can easily connect. ये होता है. फिर कोई भी आपने कभी सेशन में कुछ बोला and then you once of all of sudden day you'll ask something, so that will not serve the purpose. Or in recorded lectures that facility is not available.
And then there are two more things to it. Like you were saying about the notes are generally pre-provided to you. Then there is one more thing. Like I told you, you can ask the teacher that ma'am in the next class what all we will be covering, so that the teacher tells you okay we will be covering all this, and then you read it like the way we told you. Like in the next session I asked you to at least read till page number 10.
Yeah.
And they do share their notes also. Okay, I just want to now see the queries, ma'am. Ma'am, there are even multiple lectures note assignment on the BOS itself. So that can you please help with that? What kind of multiple lectures, if you're talking about all those things that we just gave you, the walkthrough of the website, then in that case, those are all the different sources that are available to. And if you're talking about the different notes and assignments that are there for this LVC classes, then those are for the previous batches. Refer the latest one which you will be doing.
This one Rosie has asked this question ki what is the difference between the study material for sale and against the registration? Yes, Rosie, it's a very useful question for all the students, because when they want to place an order for the study materials, so you must be seeing these two options are coming on the CDS portal when you're placing an order for the study material. So one is against the study material, against the registration, and against for sale. So if you are the student who have recently registered, who are going to appear for the first time, they have recently registered, so in that case you can place an order for the book under against the registration and you get the books free of cost. Okay. And if suppose your registration has gone, your one attempt has been passed, in that case you need to place an order. If required any study material, then you need to place an order of study material under the heading for sale, that is against the sale. So there's a difference when you are going to place any order for book against the registration one. You're going to get free of cost because recently you've got registered and you're going to appear first time in the coming attempt. So this is the difference. So whosoever have registered recently and this September will be the first attempt, then they can place an order free of cost for the books on the CDS portal.
Ma'am, Veerashri is asking, ma'am, when to solve these revision and mock test paper?
Of course, mock test paper का मतलब ये है कि जब आपको आता होगा तभी तो आप prepare हो पाएंगे. This is very simple. So you need that कि first kindly have a thorough this reading of the subject, have a thorough command over the subject. Once you have completed your course, then you can appear for MTP. Okay, and revisionary classes, of course, before appearing for MTP. As and when the LVC is completed, definitely the revisionary class being also scheduled for the students for respective attempts. So that revisionary class will make a kind of a revision of the subject. So that should always be done after once you have a thorough reading of the subject. Then only revision will help you, because in the revision we don't cover each and everything. We only just cover some of the key concepts, you can say key important topics over there.
So Ajay, the Saran shows January 2025. It was very much applicable for 26 September attempt also. However, you need to keep a check on the amendments. So these things are not amended like very frequently. You can just see the amendments that are applicable, and if it is related to the provision, you can directly amend it yourself. Okay, so one, I will not be taking the name. The student is, I can explain it to you, but I cannot do it for you. Yes, I can explain the things to you, but I can take the horse to the water, to the pond, but the horse has to drink the water on its own. I think it's very much...
Again, a dialogue of the movie comes over in my minds. You all must have seen the movie that Dhakad. That Dhakad was the movie, na? in which there was a wrestling that Dangal, yes, sorry. Dangal was the movie in which देखा मैं याद नहीं करती हूँ ना, that is why I forgot the name of the movie. I need to revise and every time I have to keep on watching the movie again and again to just retain that name. Dangal. In that movie, if you remember, the Amir Khan just push up their daughters into a pond and says one dialogue कि मैं तन्ने है ना तैरना नहीं सिखा पाऊँ मतलब तैरना सिखा सकता हूँ पर तैरना तो तुझे ही पड़ेगा मतलब I can make you learn but ultimately it is you who have to मतलब do that particular act. So similarly here we are here to just give you the tips, we can just guide you, we just can advise you कि yes these are the things how you can go with it, but yes it is ultimately you who have to do it.
हमारा एक्सपीरियंस है तो हम आपको बता सकते हैं लेकिन उसको अप्लाई कैसे करना है वो आपको खुद ही करना पड़ेगा. एंड देयर आर मेनी बिग एथलीट्स हु से या माइकल जॉर्डन वगैरह ने भी एक बात बोली है कि मैंने एक ही चीज को इतनी बार किया तब जाके मुझे ये मैं ओवरनाइट सक्सेस या ओवरनाइट सेंसेशन मिला.
किसी भी बड़े मतलब व्यक्ति की अगर आप वो उठाएंगे उनकी कहते हैं हिस्ट्री उठाएंगे उनका लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस उठाएंगे दे हैव स्ट्रगल्ड अ लॉट एंड
with discipline
failures of many things they have got a success and they reach up to that level. आप किसी को भी उठा लो तो कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जो टॉप लेवल पे पहुंचा है वो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में सीधा वहां पहुंच गया. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट बट ही हैज गेन मेनी थिंग्स फ्रॉम द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डिफरेंट पीपल्स एज वेल ऑफ हिज ओन एक्सपीरियंस ही हैज लर्नड इट एंड so he is there.
Okay, so we have one sir with it. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is saying that he has neglected the studies for very long, and he wants to know the maximum marks that someone has got in this paper too. Sir, as far as I know, it's around 87 or something. Though I cannot comment because that is a very much coveted thing by the examination department. The latest information that I have is around 87, 88. And congratulations, sir, that you are trying, or sir or ma'am.
Sir is the source of inspiration. After 60 years, he's come back.
30 years he's coming back.
Yeah. The great comeback. Welcome, sir.
Okay, we have Arpita, we have discussed about that why there are multiple, because already few classes are going. We are catering to each and every attempt. I think we have discussed. Okay, we have. Okay, WhatsApp group link is not there, and I told you have to for refer download Telegram and then refer the group from there. Okay, any more question? It's okay. What is the next?
Shri Raksha.
Okay, Shri Raksha, there is no problem even if like in the few classes, initial classes, you will feel a bit problem, maybe not a problem but a bit of uneasiness because you have not read law at
कभी ना कभी हमने भी फर्स्ट टाइम पढ़ा. बहुत से ऐसे काम ऐसे होते हैं which we have done for the first time. So it doesn't mean that you will not be able to understand the basic things. Law covers various things which are going in your day-to-day life basis. मतलब you will be finding that these activities are taking on day-to-day basis. So you can easily relate out. And since you are a direct entry student, as you said, so you'll be finding that already you must have seen many of the situations in your life, and you'll be finding that yes, this has been dealt over there. If you must be seeing various news in the various newspaper, many things recently has been going on. So when you read and you find it out, and then you will correlate and you will find that yes, the law says about this thing, and this is very simple. Nothing is there. So it will not finding you any kind of the problem, Sri Raksha. Definitely certain things may be tricky and difficult to understand, but of course this is why we are just conducting classes for your guidance through the expert subjects, the subject experts, so they will be just helping you out in understanding that tricky concept, but rest many things are very common things which are taking place in your day-to-day activities you'll be finding out.
And there are few things like if I talk about the foundation route students also, they have not read the Companies Act in entirety. They have not read about interpretation, GC, FEMA. These kids have not read that also. So it's okay. You are not losing out onto anything. Where are the notes shared prior to the class? They will be shared. I will just check with my technical team because they are shared before every class. That is there any problem? Okay. Negative marking or not for
नहीं
MCQ question.
होती.
Right now there is
No
no
negative.
negative marking.
So इसलिए kindly attempt all the MCQs. Don't leave anything. Even in the descriptive papers, attempt all the question papers.
We have answered, Ajay, the question related to Saransh. Okay, I think this all we have. Shushmita, we have just told you by when will the syllabus be completed for this batch. I can just let you know about, if I talk about whole of the syllabus of all the subjects, it will, like right now we are in January 19, we have started the batch. It will be somewhere like end of July. Okay, all the things of all the subject will be getting over, and if I talk primarily about this subject, then somewhere in around May end it will be ending for this period.
और
Okay.
पेन के लिए पूछ रहे हैं ऐसे
Okay.
which pen to be used. Prajot is very simple. Read the instructions because recently, as per my understanding, recently it is changed to black. But yes, read the instructions book. So, or even you can confirm the same from the examination department. If you are intermediate student, you can write down exam helpline _intermediate@ICAI.in. Just simply drop the mail with respect to the usage of the color of the pen. They will guide you.
Ma'am, I got material. Santosh, the material that you got, just see that what they are writing. Are they writing reprint August 2025? If they are writing that, then that's the latest study material. Okay. Okay, this we have answered. When will exam registration start?
एग्जाम की रजिस्ट्रेशन देखिए, रजिस्ट्रेशन में आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा, रजिस्ट्रेशन कराने के बाद आपको 8 मंथ का स्टडी पीरियड मिलता है, देन यू बिकम एलिजिबल फॉर द कमिंग अटेम्प्ट. बट इफ यू आर टॉकिंग विद द फिलिंग ऑफ द एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्म, तो यस 2 months बिफोर द एग्जामिनेशन द रजिस्ट्रेशन काउंटर्स ओपन्स एंड देयर यू नीड टू फिल अप द एग्जामिनेशन फॉर्म.
Okay, Arpita, what you are talking about that how to write the answers, let's not talk about it at this point. It's because now then it will be another thing for you. We will be helping you, and the expert faculties will also be discussing with you the how to write the answers. Even I will be taking a session on that also. Okay. Mine is reprint October 2025. October 25. Reprint.
रिपीट हो सकता है, स्टॉक में हैविंग
हाँ,
वैनिश्ड, दिस जस्ट
हाँ.
reprint further study material, but it is yes August 2025 is the
Yes. So
relevant
reprint
material.
अगर उसके बाद है तो obviously it will be. Then Harshal, what are you saying? Should I okay, unmute, and this is the last query that we are taking. No, there will be, this is in discussion that whether there will be special revisionary classes. Kindly wait for the announcement that will be hosted in due course of time at the BOS knowledge portal, and request you to kindly sufficient for revision, more than sufficient. If you are very reading and if you are diligent in your study, it's 1 month is more than enough. So Harshal, I'm just unmuting you. Kindly ask what you want to ask. Harshal? Okay, I don't know. So, what is that? I think
हेलो
we,
मैम.
yes, say.
मैम मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो बुक्स का मतलब नोटबुक्स क्या लगा है, मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट बुक्स के लिए और प्रैक्टिकल बुक्स के लिए सब स्टेशनरी.
नहीं समझ में आया आपका बेटा.
हेलो.
हाँ जी, नहीं आवाज आ रही है, पूछना क्या चाहते हो ये नहीं समझ में आया.
जो अभी प्रैक्टिस के लिए हम करेंगे लॉ का,
हाँ
तो उसके
जी.
लिए प्रैक्टिकल बुक भी लगाना पड़ेगा एक, और कंसेप्ट बुक पर लगाना पड़ेगा.
बेटा आपके
नहीं,
एक ही स्टडी मटेरियल है, देयर इज
Study
नो
material है.
देयर इज नो प्रैक्टिस सेपरेट बुक फॉर यू, बट यस आपके स्टडी मटेरियल के एंड में ही क्वेश्चंस दिए हुए प्रैक्टिस के लिए. बिसाइड्स विद दैट व्हाटएवर द सोर्सेज दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, from there itself you can practice the question, whether it may be MTP, RTP or the suggested answers.
केस सिनेरियो, जैसे
और
अगर आप
case scenario
प्रैक्टिस के लिए
booklet
बोल रहे हो तो
हाँ,
केस सिनेरियो बुकलेट
booklet
है
है.
आपके पास, सजेस्टेड आंसर्स हैं. व्हाट्सएप लिंक नहीं है मेरे बच्चों, आपको टेलीग्राम पे ही करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है आप हर्षल, इज इट क्लियर?
No, ma'am. I asking to for a writing and practically apply the law knowledge in the
अच्छा
registered form.
आप ये
in the
कहना चाह रहे हैं
study.
प्रैक्टिस वगैरह के लिए आप कोई रेफरेंस बुक जानना चाह रहे हैं क्या?
No, not a reference book, but a self study
सेल्फ स्टडी के
notebooks.
लिए, अच्छा सेल्फ स्टडी के लिए अगर
Notebooks
मैं आपको
which how
बताऊं,
much pages required for self study notebooks.
क्या नाम था
मेरे
बच्चे
को
का?
हर्षल।
हर्षल। हर्षल, एक तो ना आपका थोड़ा क्वेश्चंस थोड़ा सा ना
हाँ,
क्लियर नहीं हो पा
मतलब
रहा है, मतलब आपको प्रैक्टिस के लिए चाहिए, आपको एडिशनल प्रैक्टिस के लिए चाहिए, यू आर आस्किंग फॉर सम अदर रेफरेंस बुक, तो दैट वी कैन जस्ट मतलब आप पूछना क्या चाहता है, एक बार आप फिर से क्लियर कर दीजिए थोड़ा सा।
मैम
मैं
मुझे
मे
ये पूछना था कि
अर्पिता आप लिख के भेज दो।
जो बुक्स लगेंगे आफ्टर द लेक्चर,
अच्छा,
तो स्टडी करने के लिए जो भी लेक्चर में हुआ होगा
हाँ,
होमवर्क वगैरह वॉट एवर, सो उसके लिए मैं नोटबुक जो मैं खुद से राइट करूंगा, तो उसके लिए पूछना था आपको कि स्टेशनरी कैसा ले, मतलब नोटबुक कौन सा ले सा, या कितने पेजेस की लेना चाहिए.
अच्छा, ओके, जो
ओके,
आप अपने
राइटिंग के
खुद
लिए,
नोट्स
नोट्स बनाने के
बनाओगे।
लिए, ओके ओके ओके।
यस यस मैम.
हाँ, आप एक सेपरेट बुक बना सकते हो, लेकिन नोट्स ही बनाना ठीक है, कोई सेपरेट बुक मत बनाना। आपकी टीचर्स आपको जो कुछ भी, थैंक यू अर्पिता, आप क्या है कि एक तो देखो स्टडी मटेरियल है ही आपके पास, ठीक है, उसके अलावा अपने नोट्स जो आप बना रहे हो ना, सेपरेट अराउंड, देखो इसका ना कोई फिक्स्ड फॉर्मूला नहीं होगा, लेकिन 100-150 पेजेस विल बी आई थिंक मोर देन इनफ।
क्योंकि अगर आप यहाँ पे नंबर ऑफ पेजेस आप स्टडी मटेरियल देखिए,
हाँ,
वो इट इज रनिंग इनटू अराउंड कितने 600 700 800 पेजेस में,
600 to
हाँ
650
हाँ,
पेजेस।
तो आपके जो नोट्स बनेंगे तो इट विल बी जस्ट रिड्यूस टू, मतलब 1/4 से भी कम बनेंगे। आप इतने शॉर्ट ऑफ ब्रीफ बनाओगे, हर एक प्रोविजंस के नहीं बनाओगे हर्षल, यू नीड टू जस्ट सी विच आर द प्रोविजन विच आर रेगुलरली बीइंग टेस्टेड इन द एग्जामिनेशन, द इंपॉर्टेंट वन, उन्हीं के आप नोट्स बनाइए, बाकी आप पढ़ के अपनी किताब में मार्क करके छोड़ सकते हैं, दैट टू।
और
ओके,
अगर
फॉर डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस अलग से बुक लगाना पड़ेगा, ये तो पहले तो मतलब समरी करके फॉर दैट
नहीं
एलबीसी
नहीं, अलग से
नहीं,
कुछ नहीं करना
सुनो,
है।
प्रैक्टिस के लिए ना तो आप ऐसे रजिस्टर, सुनो बच्चे, अगर किसी और बच्चे को भी डाउट है प्रैक्टिस के लिए, तो जैसे हमने कभी प्रैक्टिस के लिए एक रजिस्टर खरीद लेते हैं जिसमें हम अकाउंट्स का भी काम करते रहते हैं और सारे काम करते रहते हैं। प्रैक्टिस तो आप ऐसे करते रहो, नोट्स के लिए एक सेपरेट कॉपी बना सकते हो।
ओके मैम, ओके, थैंक
ठीक है, अगर आप हर क्वेश्चन के मतलब हर सब्जेक्ट के लिए आप अलग कॉपी बनाना चाहते हो तो दैट्स योर चॉइस,
वो आप कर सकते हो, मतलब सब मिक्स नहीं होगा, अदरवाइज फिर आपको पेजेस जो है ना, यू नीड टू फ्लिप ऑन जब आपकी जैसे, इसलिए आप मेक द सब्जेक्ट वाइज, और जैसे शतन ने कहा फॉर प्रैक्टिस शुड बी सेपरेट एंड फॉर नोट्स इट शुड बी
हाँ,
सेपरेट, सो दैट इट
नोट्स
नॉट
आप
गेट मिक्स्ड वन।
इट्स
ठीक
अ
है, आप ऐसे भी कर
सिस्टमैटिकल वे टू स्टडी.
या
यस। अच्छा, एमटीपी आरटीपी चैप्टर वाइज नहीं होता,
हाँ,
वो आपका
मिक्स
क्योंकि
होता है, हाँ
एमटीपी तो आपका बिल्कुल एग्जाम के पैटर्न पे होता
बिल्कुल।
है, और आरटीपी में भी आपके एक स्पेसिफिक 20-25 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं।
ओके मैम,
एंड
आरटीके
थैंक यू
और
अर्पिता फॉर मेकिंग मी अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट ही इज ट्राइंग टू से। दैट्स लाइक बच्चों को बच्चों की बातें समझ में आती
बिल्कुल,
हैं।
कहते हैं ना सेम पेज पे, और जब आप सेम लेवल पे बात करते हैं तो डेफिनेटली इट्स इजी टू कन्वे।
नो, संदीप्ति, we don't give Zoom ID directly. You have to join through the BS Knowledge portal through your student login ID, or you have to join through this BOS mobile app. Those are the only two ways. So I think with this we have come to the end of this session. I hope just share the Telegram link once again. So if you keep understanding the things, it's good. If you keep practicing, it's even better. We have tried our level best to give a edge to the students for around 15, not 15, around 20 marks, because the initial two things which we told you were the important things. Like, if anyone wants to remember, that's good. Practice it.
बस प्रैक्टिस इज द की, और लॉ जैसे सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने के लिए प्रैक्टिस इज ओनली द वे आउट थ्रू विच यू कैन इम्प्रूव योर सेल्फ, थ्रू विच यू कैन, कहते हैं ना, द इशू दैट यू आर फेसिंग अबाउट द रिटेंशन एंड द मेमोरी पार्ट, दैट कुड बी easily eroded through the way of the practice, and that could be done. So with this, let's close the session, Shraddha, and thank you for such a wonderful, matlab, being an audience, the viewers, and you all just made our day also, and we also learned many things from you students basically when we come through this way of sessions. And thank you students, and kindly be regular in your LVC classes, and definitely that could be a great help to you, and it will be giving you a success. in whatever you're looking forward for. And we are also looking that we should be hearing a good news from you all students very soon. So with this, we would like to end our sessions. Wish you all the best and have a great reading.
And have a great reading, have fun,
Yes,
and don't be afraid of the paper.
and don't forget, give time to yourself also besides with that. ऐसा नहीं कि पढ़ाई के चक्कर में you lose everything. Don't lose that. Be what you are. Enjoy your life and make this reading also a happy reading. With this, we would like to conclude the sessions and thank you, students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Yes.